Here we go. This is one of them ones. Let me make sure I'm good. My levels is good. I don't want no issues. It's time to get it. I've been waiting for a couple of days. We appreciate your patience. We had to put some things together. We had to get it together for you because I needed this to be very, very, very important. I needed to be very concise about what I'm about to get into, and we need the whole stratosphere to get this. I know you see me on UCSS, and I see, people ask me, G. Bush, I know it's about to be a movie on Saturday. I said, of course it is. Only the way I bring it up, because we got to get to it. Joe Flacco. Final nail in the coffin for Kevin Stefanski. I don't care what it looks like the rest of the season. I don't care what it looks like against the Dolphins. I don't care what it looks like in the next 4 or 5 games. There's winnable games. Let me tell you something right now. I ain't got no time for none of this half-stepping. We're going to get to why Kevin Stefanski should have been gone weeks ago, and we're going to get to all the apologists. All of the people that sat up there and carried water for Kevin Stefanski, all the apologists. Don't come over here now because you've seen the consequences. Don't come up over here now. I got all kind of DMs. G. Bush, I usually don't agree with you. G. Bush, sometimes you could come off a little as, but let me tell you, what happened with Joe Flacco for me was the last nail for this regime. Why was it the last nail? It should have been the last nail weeks ago. But that's how this thing works. Because when you're the only one that's willing to see past the smoke screen, when you're the only one that gonna keep it a buck with people and see past all this propaganda, because it's been straight up propaganda. It's been straight up propaganda. I need you to keep that same doggone energy when it comes to, you know what? I ain't got no time. Let's get right off into this thing. Today, let's go ahead and tell you why Kevin Stefanski should have been gone weeks ago, and I ain't got no time for playing with people, and we're going to do it like we always do right here on the Barbershop. Welcome to the most electrifying show in all of sports. It's your boy G. Bush right here in the Barbershop. This is what you've been waiting for. This is the blog you've been waiting for to get to, and we're going to deliver it to you today. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to the Barbershop, you might want to come on in, sit down, kick your feet up, and let's get to it. The Cleveland Browns, I've been talking about Kevin Stefanski and his incompetence for weeks now, years now. If you just pulling up on the show, you may think that I just only talked about Kevin Stefanski not being a good play caller or not being who he is when Shedeur Sanders got here. I was talking about Kevin Stefanski and his ineptitude when Deshaun Watson was here. I was talking about his play calling when they had Jacoby Brissett dropping back, throwing the ball 400 or 500 times. I was talking about the offense looked trash and archaic when Baker was here. And so this ain't my first rodeo. I've been telling y'all how this thing gonna go, and I've been telling you how this thing is been smooth getting to for a very, very long time. But let me remember you and let me remind you that in life, you don't get anything through comfort. As a matter of fact, you learn more things through bad and negative things than you do from positive things. It's ingrained in your DNA. It's a survivor tool. Because positive things, hey, if you get something positive, you may want to feel that feeling again. You want to feel how it is to win. You may want to feel how it is to get money or feel how it wins to get success. You may like that feeling, but that ain't going to kill you. What's going to kill you is if you make one bad decision on top of a cliff at 4,000 feet in the air. You make one bad decision. That fear is there to save your life. That fear is there to say, hey, listen, you might not want to go in the woods with grizzly bears at nighttime where you can't see anything. You're not an animal. You're not equipped for that. Negative experiences always going to hit different. It always is going to hit you in the face because you, as a survival tactic, as a human being, need that fear, that healthy fear, that guess what? If I do this, this don't feel good. Not only don't it feel good, it's punitive. I can die, I can be maimed, I can do all these things. So let me have a healthy fear of something. But here's the problem. The problem is that when we talk about the Cleveland Browns and we talk about all these good things, what we fail to realize is that level of fear and the negative things, when we don't readily have them available, we forget what the heck we learned. We forget all of the stuff and why it's punitive until bad things happen. And then you get Joe Flacco's for performance, right? 342 yards, 3 touchdown performance on national television. You see, the local media, I blame half of it on you. I blame half of it on you because you play these games, you play these suck-a-tendency games where you're sitting up here, you're spinning things every 5 minutes. Don't it get tired running after another grown man that can't do his job? I know he don't think the same for you. If you were gone, he wouldn't care nothing about you. It's all entertainment, right? Don't it get tired running after another man trying to cover up for his mistakes, trying to make it seem that it's diminished, trying to spin it a different way? I can see it all over your face. It's tiring, ain't it? Ain't it tiring? Don't you get tired of just running? I see the mental gymnastics and laps you running in your head every single day. The local media in its propaganda wing. And it is propaganda. I got the receipts today, and we're going to talk all the way through this thing. Let me take down this banner. I don't even need the banner. I'm tired of seeing that too. Let's just get to real talk. Let me ask you a question. No, I'm not going to ask you a question. I'm going to just throw this up here. I'm going to throw that up there. Shout out to Natalie. I'm just going to leave this right here as proof that no QB is succeeding in the Cleveland Browns organization, and they should burn the whole thing down as a starter. See, this is the energy level we talking about. I know this definitely not going to be one for everybody. This definitely not going to be one of these joints. Please, if you're not about this life, please, you have time to get up and roll the you-know-what out. Go ahead. I'm giving you an ample opportunity. In front of national television, you got embarrassed. Your organization got embarrassed. And instead of you doing your job and speaking truth to power, asking difficult questions, you rub shoulders. Well, I guess it's just not Kevin. Nah, see, now you look like a fool in front of your company. And my mom always told me, don't you have me making me look like a fool in front of the company. And y'all's company is the national media. Because you know what? You secretly try out for them. You one of them. Hey, our local media is one of them friends. You ever have a friend that be your best friend, but they always your best friend until they get other people from another town come in this place. They cool with you. They at the sleepovers. You go eat together. You make at McDonald's together. You trade baseball cards together. But let Johnny or Susie come from out of town and her family come over for a little bit of a hangout session. All of a sudden, your best friend done flipped up. He all out of pocket. He trying to get smart. They just straight up ditched you and left you. You're like, how you switch up like that? I thought we was Ace Boone Coons. I thought we was me and you. Oh, no. See, I'm only your friend. I'm only your friend when things is going, when you're a regular friend. I'm trying to impress the up top friend, and that's what y'all be doing. What you trying to, listen, I told y'all Fox and ESPN ain't hiring no more, bro. You might as well talk that up. You over here on the internet with us now. You might as well chalk all that up. But you always trying to show out. Always trying to show how medium you can be, how conservative you can be, the voice of reason. You shouldn't do anything right now. We can't do anything with Kevin because, we've done this awesome. We fired people way too often. Yeah, no, you haven't. You ain't fired nobody way too often. Stop with that narrative. Get up out of here with that. Who you fired that went on somewhere else and was balling, that won Super Bowls? Who? Who did you fire, Jimmy Haslam? That turned out to be Eric Mangini. He in a studio somewhere. I like Mike Pettin. They forced Johnny on him. I like Mike Pettin. Mike Pettin ain't coached nowhere, nothing. He can't coach his way out of a wet paper bag. You're always telling me what you like. I thought so-and-so did a good job. I can go down the list. Chazinski, no. Pat Sherman didn't do nothing. No. Come on. What are you talking about? Chris Palmer, Butch Davis. No. None of these coaches you let go did anything. But you won't come around until you have consequences. And your consequences where you let a man in 10 days come to a city that has already dished you multiple times. You don't live in, just look it up. You live, Sam Weiss once said, and I'll give you the context. The Cincinnati Bengals was talking, and they was at a game. People started throwing stuff on the field. Sam Weiss, the coach of the Bengals, got the microphone, the PA microphone, and said, y'all better stop throwing stuff on this football field. Remember, you don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati. Unsolicited. He put you on that Summer Jam screen. That's like putting Takeover. That's like putting Takeover on the Hot 97 Summer Jam stream. They was clowning you back then, and now they're going to say, thank you, Cleveland, for Flacco. But you know what? I like consequences, and I love it. You know why? Because 31-47, 342, 3 touchdowns, and it could have been 4 touchdowns if T. Higgins didn't slide and run the clock out. That was the final nail in the coffin. It's all you needed to know, all you needed to see. Huh? You see, we've already had Shanahan and Mac Jones out there with no receivers put numbers up. We've already had multiple people talk about how other quarterbacks go other places and do well. You've just saw Baker Mayfield cook. He's still cooking. But those are different. Flacco for 10 days. 10 days Flacco was there. And he put up more touchdowns than the Cleveland Browns have put up for the entire season. For the entire season. Taylor lets his players play football in the system. Kevin wants everybody to play with no freedom or creativity. That's why he fails. Let the players play. Let me see that. Let me take my graphic down right there. Let me see that graphic. Let me get this down. Kevin Stefanski, 13.7 points a game. 120. The Jets have 123 points this year. The Browns just 122 since last year, week 14. But let me show you something. This is why the media be clowns. Clown type sucker mentality. They find things to try to hang their hat on. They find things to be outraged about. I told you about it. When people just want to smack the table and yell and do all this other stuff, they tell on themselves in real time. When the facts ain't on your side, talk about process. When the process and the facts ain't on your side, you yell like hell and filibuster and, oh, pink dolphins, pink dolphins. Dolphins. What the heck is you talking about? Oh, you think we don't know what this is? Come on now. Come on, guys. Let me show you this. So Joe Flacco throws for 340 yards and beats a team that you just couldn't score any touchdowns on in the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you cut him and traded him during the middle of the week. But yet and still, the only thing you're upset about is Myles Garrett and his fake leadership and his fake leadership conversation and this leadership trope. Not the offensive coordinator, not the offense trash, not the fact that Kevin Stefanski can't coach, develop, and do anything, time management, and that he's 4-something in the last how many games. You talked about this.
To say that on top of embarrassing Cleveland fans this last offseason, you got some balls on you, dude. Like, seriously, I like Myles. I love watching him play. I was thinking today, I'm damn near over the shenanigans from the offseason. You don't know how many people in this town care.
Hey, listen, you should be caring about the offense. What you talk about shenanigans? Myles Garrett is a Hall of Famer. Put some respect on his name. What are you talking about? Courtesy of 92.3 The Fan. This is what you upset about? Nah, bro. Shout out to Peter Lynn and Nick Wilson. No, this isn't what fans care about. They care about 4-something. And you know who does this job? You know who makes Pro Bowls? You know who's the defensive player of the year? You know who's always out there? It's this guy, Myles Garrett. But you found this to talk about.
When I look at a Browns jersey, the ugliest damn colors in the NFL, I don't just see players that I've loved and respected, like Myles Garrett, like Joe Thomas is going to join us at 4:00 today.
And guess what Joe Thomas won? Nothing. Don't nobody care if you play. I don't care what you respect. You don't think that you saying you respect Joe Thomas, who is a Hall of Famer that wasted his career because you backed up coaches that wasn't no good. You propped up regimes that wasn't no good. You wanted him to stay. He stayed. He didn't win no championships, didn't play no playoff games, and you sitting here telling me you respect him. I don't care. I want to win. You know what brings this? Respect is about, you ain't got to give me your respect because, frankly, I don't care about it. I am him. The work I put in on these football fields, you can't fathom. You ain't put this work in. You ain't put your body on the line. And you think that that is all the welcome and thanks you get? I respect him. You don't get up out of here with that nonsense. You got all this energy and extraness for Myles Garrett, but you ain't got nothing to say about Kevin Stefanski. Typical. Because it's an act. You don't even believe it. Yell loud. Pick somebody else. Guess what? They said the same thing about Baker, Odell, Jarvis, Myles Garrett, Kareem Hunt. Don't you tell me what you respect. You respected Nick Chubb until you felt like he couldn't play no more, and then you jettisoned him and say, "Oh, we got Quinshon Judkins. Who cares?" That's the problem with fans. Let me tell you something. It's a difference between fans and people who put their body on the line. I got neck injuries that ain't never gonna heal. I got knee injuries that ain't never gonna heal. I done been under the knife 17 times for a game, for a child's game of football. That's why I talk different. My spice is different. My level of integrity is different. The way I even go about looking at the game is different. And no, I can't talk to you in a regular conversation about what you talk about football because frankly, sir, you guys don't know.
Yeah. Right? I don't see just Bernie Kosar. My earliest memory of Ozzie Newsome making a catch or Webster.
Bernie Kosar got CTE and dementia and liver damage waiting on the kidney. By the way, Bernie's one of my good friends. Good friends. He put that on the line for the game. He did that for the game. But you talking about which you don't respect and what coach. Man, come on, you better stop playing with me.
Slaughter or any of the greats on the in between. No, I see Jim Wilson. I see the Jeff Garcia jersey that when I get sad because I miss my dad after 13 years of him being gone, I put that son of a gun on to this day.
Rest in peace to your dad, though. Shout out to him. I can respect that. I see what you're saying. Rest in peace, you Bob. All just that.
I do it more than I ever talk about on air. That's what I see. This is generations of great fans. And so it's not just about what Miles said, but you are dead ass wrong if you think you care more than the people in this town. Because
What? This is why the receipts are needed. You telling me that Joe and Parma, Brian and Solon, Tim and Akron, Sharon and Chardon care more about winning and losing than the men that are out there putting their body and life on the line? You know, CTE is a thing, right? You do know people tear knees up, right? You know, JOK had to learn how to walk again, right? But this is all propaganda. See, this is done to instill some sort of emotion, to evoke a level of emotion so it can smokescreen people into thinking and emoting on things that ain't even an issue. And all this conversation in this 3 or 4 minutes we didn't talked about, guess what? Has he told you exactly what Myles Garrett did that has made him so upset? Did Myles Garrett skip games? Last time I checked, Myles Garrett was on the football field. No, Myles Garrett did what we will talk about earlier. He dared to tell you the truth. Because when you step out of line, now we got to put you back in place because you had the nerve to tell the truth about the organization that we all see. We're not dumb. We're not dumb. We saw it.
The people in this town were here before you were here. They'll be here after you're here. That's not helpful at this time for a guy who speaks in 75 different directions and seems to say one thing and then another thing a week later.
No. He's been very clear on what he thinks. He told you that the Cleveland Browns didn't have a plan in the offseason. You didn't like that. You said that they should just trade him. Let's get him up out of here. Now he's telling you in real time, see, Joe Flacco was actually decent. It's just a trash offense. Oh, you know what? Quinshon Judkins, oh my gosh. Quinshon. We gave him the ball 12 times and we dropped back with Dylan 58. See, what's something that happens when you get embarrassed on national television. Continue.
That is not where anything needs to be derived today. But you know why it pissed me off?
I'm dying to find out.
It pissed me off.
People, I'm dying to find out. Yeah, let me know why. Let me know.
Because that's the attitude of that organization. It is the attitude of that organization that every decision they made, because their process is great.
No. See. Oh, that was masterful. But you dealing with the teacher today. You dealing with the linguist. This is a master class in breaking down propaganda. You see, he starts with the emotion, and the emotion covers up the message. But there was no message in the emotion. So now, when you ask specifics, it's always in the specifics. When somebody want to give you overarching, no, get down to the nitty-gritty. No, exactly why are you upset? Well, it's the organization, and they want to be smarter than everybody. You see how they parse? They say Myles Garrett's name. They say it loud and proud. But when they talk about the other part of it, it's the organization and overarching thing. No, call it what it is, Nick. Call it what it is. What is it? What we doing here? It's funny how it's Deshaun Watson's issue. It's Manziel's issue. It's Baker. It's Odell, it's Miles, it's Kareem Hunt, it's blah, 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 blah. It's always names. But when you get to the nitty gritty, it's overarching in the organization. No, call it what it is. Who you talking about? There's a head coach, there's a general manager, there's an owner, and there's a chief strategy officer. Haslam, D. Podesta, Barry, and Stefanski, and they all said they were aligned. Now call it by what it is.
Don't worry about the results. That's how you get. And again, it's not even about Joe Flacco. You and I saw this coming. It is about an attitude that
No, you didn't see it coming. You didn't see any of this coming. What are you talking about? Listen, I told you. Let me tell you something. Let me get off the sticks. All right, no, you didn't see nothing. You told us you sat up in there, and you still don't see it. Because just the same way you kept telling us, we feel like the Cleveland Browns organization thinks Shedeur is a 5th-round pick. Well, they also told you Flacco was washed. They also said Pickett is the #1 quarterback. They also said Dylan Gabriel's the supercomputer. These dudes ain't got it right yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Literally delusional. What do you mean you knew it was coming? We all knew this. No, you didn't. Don't you know there's a thing called the internet? And we've been breaking this thing down every single Saturday. I know y'all don't work on Saturday. I'm just saying, but you might not watch the show. But we already listen, what do you mean you told us this was happening? What? You've been wrong you're still wrong about the quarterback. You told me a week ago Bailey Zappi gave you the best chance, and you all jumped off the cliff talking about why Bailey Zappi was the obvious choice, or how you switch and flip-flop back and forth about why your quarterback is in 26, but it ain't Klubnik. Oh, no, it ain't him no more. No, it's Arch Manning. No, it ain't Arch Manning no more. Oh, Drew Aller was terrible. Unfortunately, he got hurt, but he was terrible. Oh, Garrett Nussmeier. Oh, he was terrible. Oh, Dante Moore is the new guy. Okay, cool. I just seen Carson Beck last night on TV just drop 4 interceptions to Louisville at home. You keep telling me looking for heroes every single week. You've been wrong about quarterbacks. You've been wrong about offensive linemen. Let me go back and let you know something. I've been telling you about offensive linemen and receivers for 4 years before Deshaun Watson was here, 4 years before Shedeur Sanders was here, and you took Dylan Gay. I've been telling you about this stuff, and now everybody's the smartest man in the room. But you got guys like this still telling you this, but you mad. How you mad? How you mad at Myles Garrett, but you got coaches with this type of energy? Listen what this guy says.
I've been very pleased with our young players that we have in the receiver room. They've done such a good job of coming in here and working hard. And you know, I think that we have some good leadership on this team.
What? This is at the highest level of disrespect. This man is going to sit here and disrespect you in your face. This is readily available on the internet. You drop the most passes. You don't get you don't get any separation. And this man just sat up here and told you how much they love their receiving room, but you and all the rest of the media sit up here. Kevin Stefanski, you hired this guy. He's sitting up here like he's some Nostradamus, lying through his teeth, knowing what it is, cashing checks. But we got people that refuse to even go look at this stuff. You want to do narrative football about why Shedeur ain't ready, why this guy ain't ready. He ain't never been ready, never been competent. But you know all about Shedeur Sanders. You don't know nothing because you refuse to look at this. Let's keep talking.
Really do. And I know that Tommy Rees has done a great job with the young players of really teaching, coaching those guys and trying to get them to help us win games. And that's certainly the attitude that they've had. They do everything that's to help the team. And I'm really excited to keep seeing these guys play. I really am. They've done everything we've asked from a preparation standpoint. And I think with increased opportunities, they'll have success.
What do you mean increased opportunities? We're one in freaking 5. This is the guy you want on your offensive staff? This is the dude that's coaching your receivers up? This is the guy that knows what good receivers look like? Everybody should be fired on the offensive side of the football. Everybody. Bye. What are you talking about? Listen to this garbage. I don't want nobody like that with this record anywhere near a draft pick or developing nothing. This dude just sat there and made you feel good about people dropping the ball and not getting open. Only in Cleveland. We are clowned because we got people like this who accept stuff like that. But we want to sit up here and talk about your best players. You got noise like this. It's readily available if you look for it. But I know you don't look for it because it don't fit. It's not about narrative based stuff. Let me just give y'all something. Let me bring it back to here. Let me ask y'all something. Here's why I'm gonna tell y'all it's all a charade.
I've been very pleased with our young players that we have in the receiver room. They've done such a good job of coming in here and working hard. And you know, I think that we have some good leadership on this team. I really do. And I know that Tommy Rees has done a great job with the young players of really teaching.
All buzzwords. Got some really great leadership on this team. You know, Tommy Rees has done a really tremendous job in getting these guys ready to go and play. I just really encouraged by the growth that I've seen over the last, 6 or 7 games. And, to me, this is a joy to be in this room and just to see those young players thrive. And they're really eager to learn all these buzzwords, bro. Y'all think listen, you corporate training losers, you need to get up out of here. You the dude that always want to do a sales meeting. You ain't sold nothing. You always want to talk about the ways you need to get on the phones and, yeah, guys, what I want you to, man, you frauds.
Coaching those guys and trying to get them to help us win games. And that's certainly the attitude that they've had. They do everything that's to help the team. And I'm really excited to keep seeing these guys play.
Why are you excited? And how they win and helping the team to win? Jerry Judy's class leading drops. Does Jamari Thrash have a play?
I am. They've done everything we've asked from a preparation standpoint. And I think with increased opportunities, they'll have success.
Get out of here. I'm done seeing you. Get out. Get off my sticks. I don't even want to see that. Get that out of here. Gotta go. They gotta go. Corporate training dudes running around here using these PowerPoint presentations. You still don't even know why they're mad, right? You heard all of that and didn't say nothing. Here's what they're mad about Myles Garrett about. I done told y'all this before. By the way, 3,325 people in here. Hit the like button. We're not playing with people today. This might not be for everybody. If you want to rub Kevin's back pockets, if you want to rub his shoulders and you want to talk about continuity and being level-headed, get out. This ain't the place for you. This is not the place for you today. This is about smoke, all smoke. They should be gone early. None of this prognosticating, none of this, oh, well, we might be, if you want to fire Kevin, then you can. I can't defend. Get up out of here. He's, Yoshi Doshi, you gave O'Shea too much time. You're right. Moving right along. Got no time for this dude. He been here this year with these terrible receivers. Here's why Myles Garrett, they mad at Myles Garrett. Remember this. When you tell the truth and you destroy the balance of stay in your placeness, all of a sudden, you're the enemy. The messenger's the enemy. How dare you point out the things that we are obvious that everybody knows we're garbage at? And Myles done got that bag now. See, it's nothing more dangerous than a man who don't need your money, and he got all the leverage. That's why tenured professors at universities be going off in their classes. Go ahead, I'm tenured. That's why people with the crazy buyouts for their job. Oh, you want to fire me? My buyout's 68 million. Go ahead. I got go jump in the lake money. If I don't like what you say, go jump in the lake. I'll take my ball and go home. So Myles Garrett at this point, you got multiple people on the team like that because the cap purgatory that the Cleveland Browns are in from the Deshaun Watson deal, he's unbothered, just walking around living his best life. Myles Garrett just signed a huge contract, and you can't trade that. Guess what? Grant Delpit and Denzel Ward. Guess what? Guess what they got too? Where is that at, G. Bush? Let me see what this say. No, ain't the propaganda. What we saying? The defensive leaders is fed up. And you know what? You can't cut them. You can't trade them. And this is why it's the beginning of the end. There's no way around it. They saying what I've been hearing behind closed doors for weeks. That's the devastating part. So when you guys was talking that talk, doing all that extra, and talking about why this season was so, it's an experimental season to find our quarterback, what we have in the dome. And yeah, you got wrong information because the information that you got from the people don't count. The people you're talking to don't count. You see, the people I be talking to, you can't cut or trade them. That's why they're so tough on Myles Garrett. That's why they go so hard on Myles Garrett, because they have to discredit him, because they know that his voice speaks the loudest. And right now he's talking. Right now he's putting that light on there. You never shed a light in the locker room, bro. He's shedding a light on why don't nobody mess with this coaching staff. They openly questioning your authority, openly questioning your scheme, your in-game strategy, and overall just talking like these dudes is talking like they on the front porch. That's how you know it's over. Kevin Stefanski ain't they will not make it. It is Dunsky. Dunsky. Myles, tell us what you think about, I don't know what you're going to say. Let's talk about this, Myles.
No, what he does doesn't fit us as we want to run it. That's what I see.
There's a lot of frustration amongst Browns fans.
Well, hell, we frustrated too. It's not like they can be any more frustrated than the people who are out there putting their body on the line and not winning.
Oh, that's directly shots. You was listening to them clips too, Myles? That's wild work. Apparently, Jim in Strongsville feels more crazy about it than you are. How do you feel about it, Myles? Maybe Larry in Elyria feels more strongly about losing than you do, even though your body's the one being beat up.
The people who are out there putting their body on the line and not winning. They wear the colors, they come and support us, and we will be forever grateful. But you can never be more frustrated than someone who's actually in that room.
Talk that talk. This right here. Oh, this ain't for, oh man, listen. I just heard, listen, you ever heard on AOL, It's a Messenger, when it used to be on there and the door shut when somebody get offline? Oh, oh, this one this week. This one right here, Hall of Fame worthy Barbershop. I don't care what nobody, y'all ain't got to give it up to me. I know I'm cooking. You ain't even got to say it.
Ring or on that field. And hoping that they continue to support us, and we're going to continue to put our bodies on the line and give everything until we can find a way to start winning and winning in succession. But, man, it's tough. It's tough for everybody. I don't know what getting my mind right is right now. I'm frustrated. Not going to stop being frustrated until we win and continue winning. No, we gotta figure out what's the recipe for us to be successful.
He just told you, I ain't even going to stop talking. He said, when are you going to get, they asked him, when you going to get your mind right? He said, what you mean get my mind right? We ain't doing none of this until we start winning. That means I'm on their head. I'm on their top early. At all times, I'm on it. Crazy word too. It's pause worthy. But he's talking habanero spicy.
And excessively so on every side of the ball. And we got to get better in general. We got to take more chances. Man,
we got to take more chances.
What he does doesn't fit us as we want to run it. That's what
we got to be. Like G said about JOK, he ain't even 30. He had to learn to walk again. If you don't stop, listen, this trope that the everyday fantasy football player care, you better shut up with that, bro. That's propaganda. And that's what you're trying to do is incite tribalism. I believe in my colors more than anybody. Shut up. Half these dudes running around here talking about how much they done spent. You ain't spent no money. You be watching these games at home on free cable, which you bought one T-shirt in 2 years. You talk about we fund them. You don't fund nothing. It's some real ones out here. It's some real diehard ones out here that get married in the Muni lot. They get tattoos of the Browns. I salute them. I listen. There's some real diehard, but it's a lot of posers out here too. It's a lot of posers. I've done the most for the Browns, bro. Boy, you ain't been to one away game. You ain't been to no away game. You got one little stanky little hoodie, and that's small because you keep putting it in the washer. You know them cotton hoodies roll up on you in about 5 minutes. Talk about what you done known. This ain't for everybody. I'm watching people walk up out of here right now. What else you say to him, Miles? Oh, Miles just wasn't getting spicy there. Miles was getting spicy on the play calling.
stick to the run a little bit.
You said what?
Dynamic playmaker like Quinn Sean. Help. Even Dylan. Both of them getting the ball. Both of them have different styles, but effective runners in their own right. So, would have liked to see it, but they saw it differently.
We'll take two more.
This man up here, give the ball to Quinshon Judkins. But they seen it a little differently than we did. 58 throws for Dylan Gabriel, the supercomputer. 58, and they give Quinshon 12 carries. Look at him, look at his fingers. This is the look of unbotheredness. This is the look of, I ain't got no time for y'all no more. So now you start to see where that vitriol and that anger coming from, don't you? You see that? The veil is now pulled off. The veil is not there. We telling it in real time. And you never tell the secrets. You never tell how the sausage is made. Never.
I don't even, know when it feels like, like I forgot that feeling.
He said it been so long, he don't even know what winning feel like. When your girl come to you and she tell you, you be like, hey babe, how was work today? Just like everything. Dang, just like everything. What you mean, babe? You good? I'm just gonna tell you, I just been so overall in general. I just been so. I just feel so unwanted. What? I just feel just completely, I just feel like I've just been checked out, the situation. What? Your girl come home and tell you overall she ain't feeling the love? Hey, boy. All my ladies in the house. All my ladies. Where my ladies at? I know the ladies in here. The beautifully blessed. The poetic pens. The CU aunties. Hey, Mary S., when you come to the house and she tell you, you ask her how work doing, where she want to go for dinner, and she tell you, man, I ain't been happy with the way things been going in general. Woo! Let me see what listen, you might want to listen. I don't know whether to buy her jewelry at that point. I don't know whether to like you might want to blanket apologize. Give her the code to your phone, just like, baby, you know what I'm gonna do. I got all. Here you go. Let me just go ahead and take take my pen, get my pen. This the same pen for the bank account and the pen for my phone. Because you know, I just trying to be transparent here, you know what I'm saying? When a woman come in like that, it's a wrap. Yeah, it's over, bro. The ladies in the crib, that ladies in the house, like, hey, yeah. Listen, yeah, it's over. It's a wrap, bro. What you say?
It's really just chasing that feeling, man, and trying to do everything you can to get that back and not turn on each other, because that could avalanche the season, you know. So hopefully they stay together and just find a way to get one win so we can multiply.
And how did you feel?
This is not working for me. Yeah, something gonna have to change, bro. Look at him. That's how your girl look at you when she just, I'm done dealing with you. I'm done dealing with you. I'm tired of going to my mom and my sisters and telling them and building you up. You don't come to the functions. You don't be around. Every time I ask you a question, you seem like you tired. Like I got to make you do something with me. Boy, G. Bush, you better stop. You're telling on folks today. I know it ain't for everybody. 3,800 people. I know. I get it. This is tough talk. This is tough talk. Let me give you an example of this. Let me set this up. And it's 3,800. I need you to dial in on this part right here. Because, yeah, I give you the spices, right? But I'm also going to give you that education. Because I got to let you know why people do what they do. And I'm going to blow this thing. The cover is off, right? So let me tell you about the nature of being in the media. And let me tell you, and when you hear this, it's going to make you think, bro, it's going to make you think, what? Wow, I never thought of it that way. Let me ask y'all a question. So the journalists and media, right? Their job is to what? Well, there is a reason there's a right to journalism, right? Or the freedom of the press. It's because the press's original job is to ask, investigate, and find the truth. So that means finding out corruption in corporations. That means telling the truth, making sure that politicians are held accountable. That means putting things out in the public sphere that is for the consumption of people, that they are informed of the entire picture. But nowadays, that is not what it is. The media is here to entertain and to inflame and then capitalize off that inflammation. Give you a case in point. We've heard narratives all across the world. We've heard all these narratives talking about what's going on, right? What's happening with the Browns and this. They've been wrong about all of them. You say, how can you be wrong about Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel, Zappi, Shedeur Sanders, Myles Garrett, Deshaun Watson? How can you be wrong about all of these things at once? What are you guys doing? Well, let me just throw this to you. So, beat reporters, let me tell you this. Once the season starts, and this is reporters in general, when the season starts, they are no longer able to watch practice. Let that sink in. You may say, well, so what does that mean? Let me tell you something. If you follow the team and you're not allowed, all you're allowed to do is to ask questions to the coach. They give you the answer they want you to have. You can't even investigate. You can't even see practice. You can't watch them throw. You can't watch the game plan. You can't watch anything. You can't watch what the scheme is. And then they're available after practice. And then the team tells you again what they want you to know. So my question to you is, how do you even know what you're insinuating, putting out there is even factual? If you got, case in point, we keep having a conversation about Shedeur Sanders and whether or not he's ready to play. Let me ask you a question. If you haven't seen Shedeur Sanders throw a football in practice in the last 2 months, because they don't let you see, how do you know he's not ready? Oh, so somebody told you something, or did you just write it? Because if somebody told you something, why would you run with it if you didn't know it's factually correct? That's because it doesn't matter if it's correct. It's all a ruse. They get people to follow a team, but don't even let them see them practice. 7, 8, 10 people. And the only thing you hear is what the coach wants you to hear. So my question to you is this: what are you reporting on? It's propaganda. You think the team is going to come out and tell you, you know what, that was crazy. We have no clue what we're doing. I didn't know I didn't know Joe Flacco was going to come out here and ball out like that. So when you see people that sit up there and tell you with that straight face, they ain't telling you that what they saying isn't even based on what they saw. That's the key. None of it is based on facts. None of it is based on what they saw. By the way, if I put a tape in front of half these folks, they wouldn't even know the name, the routes, the positions, the combination, because guess what? They don't need to watch tape. To watch tape would be that you will be competent and understanding what happens. But you don't watch no tape. You just talk. That's why on this channel, and the reason I'm different, and the reason I prove I'm different, and I go about always pushing the envelope is, I'm going to get that tape and I'm going to show the people that I put the work in. See, I don't got a problem with an opinion. Everybody can have one. But I got a problem with people that don't have an informed opinion. So if you ain't going to watch the practices and they don't know what you tell them, you're not going to ask the questions that you need to ask. And then you're not going to watch no tape. Then what are you here for? No disrespect to anybody. My football past, my experience of playing the game, digesting the game, breaking the game down for 30 plus years is different from your opinion and you liking the Browns. Because you can like the Browns and just say, I like the Browns and keep it pushing. I actually got to believe in what I'm writing. I love the Browns. And guess what? I'm never going to lie and be like, oh, this is great when I know it ain't. That's because you married to the fact that you understand what the integrity of playing ball is. And that's the problem between people who don't play, people don't respect it, and they think they can get up there and talk all that talk. If you ain't ran no gassers, you ain't lifted no weights, you ain't bench pressed no 225, you ain't ran till you had to throw up and you had to go to class after that, if you ain't had to go into surgery and you're crying on the football field, not because it hurts, because you know that you put all this work in and it went down the drain. If you don't know what it is to wake your teammate up, to go get him out of a club because you got 6 a.m. workouts, if you don't understand what it is to sit in front of a group of men and be talked about crazy because you missed a tackle and cost your people the game, then you and we are not the same. Put that back up there. Can we get that one about Tomlin? Put that back up there. Can we get that one? Bring that back. Bring that back. He said Mike Tomlin, the Mike Tomlin conversation. Can we get that back? Sweetheart, thank you so much. He said Mike Tomlin, she said Jason Lloyd said that Mike Tomlin said that about Andrew Berry because he was supporting Kevin Stefanski. I about fell out my chair. It was crazy work when Jason said Tomlin took a shot in support of Stefanski. That's the wildest, bro. I about fell. I said, how? In what way? I just know. Okay. Well, here's what I know. All them dudes in the locker room do not mess with this dude. The end is near. Exhibit B. Exhibit B. This is what these dudes had when they got here. Denzel Ward was in his prime in 23. Think about it. All he's done is get better. And guess what? They inherited these people. They didn't draft them. They inherited them. 23-year-old Denzel Ward, 24-year-old Myles Garrett, Baker Mayfield playing like an MVP. Nick Chubb was the best running back in the league. A young Wyatt Teller and Joe Bitonio. And in year 6, the team is worse than ever. One good draft class, right? But Kevin has a nice beard. Y'all talk about these Shedurians, y'all beard cult is getting out of hand. I know you wanted to go to an Ivy League school. Your ACT wasn't there. I get it. The SAT wasn't there, bro. I understand I can't get a full beard. I get it. I'm salty. If I had a beard, it'd be over for everybody. Let me get a shadow beard. You're done. You don't have to call. It's okay, girl. Boy, I'm a big boy. Let me get a shadow beard. You're done. I get it. But the beard cult is you guys don't have nothing to stand on. Let me tell you this. But I will say this, Will Smith publisher. I find it very, keep that up there, right there. I want to get to this. I do find it very funny. Remember what I said about exposing people. Andrew Berry did something that was very shrewd. Time to teach. It's called taking a piece off the board. Kevin Stefanski always planned on going back to Joe Flacco. He always planned on going back to Flacco playing these reindeer games. You know what he did? He took that rook right off the board. Took his bishop right off the board. Now you're going to run around trying to protect your queen. Who going to protect your queen? Huh? Who protecting your queen? Now, you got Dylan Gabriel out there. Stand on it. So now, it's 2 birds with 1 stone. You're going to have to stand by Dylan Gabriel, and you're going to have to coach your way out of this mess, which we know you can't. Coach your way out of it, Kevin. I don't want to fire you during the season. I want to make it abundantly clear that you have no clue what you're doing. Let's take that rook, that bishop right off the board. And then what he did is he slid that boy right over to the Bengals. And what he knows is, there ain't nothing like in-house fighting, especially in the division. Mike Tomlin came out and said, what the heck is y'all doing? The prelude. What the heck is y'all doing? This is how the dominoes work. And then Joe Flacco comes out and puts that type of game out after you benched him, after you said he didn't give you the best chance, after you said your offense, after they tried to lie and tell us that they got to get reps and the timing. I didn't see so many beat reporters sit up here and try to tell me the timing needs to be down. They need to play every single second together. It's his third year in the offense. It's only 1 year in the offense. Kevin needs to get his playbook. We need linemen. We need all of that. And they showed you in 10 days that they're all liars. You don't need a whole year, no playbook. You don't need 5-6 years in the same system. Apparently, all you need is 10 days. And even he put it to you like this. We got the same line. Same line. Bengals line is actually rated worse than the Cleveland Browns. So you telling me a man could come out there and put these type of numbers up? It shines a complete flashlight on your incompetence as a play caller. And Dylan Gabriel threw the ball 58 times with no touchdowns. 5-6 turnover-worthy interception type throws. Will not throw the football downfield. And you know what that does? It embarrasses you and it makes you look incompetent. Because now it exposes what we've done all along for people who've already listened. Kevin Stefanski is a fake guru. He's the dude going from town to town selling tonic water, saying it cures all types of diseases. He's the same dude crushing up oregano and parsley and stirring it up in a mixing bowl and putting some avocado oil together. Talk about this is the magic elixir. That same rub this on your elbows 3 times a day with a rabbit foot. You fake quarterback, offensive line, offensive genius guru. Get up out of here. Ain't nobody you had was balling defense as a quarterback. Ain't nobody you had. You ain't never been a top 10 offense. You ain't never put up no 5,000-6,000 yards. Guess what? You've been exposed. See, it was one thing to have Baker do it. It was another to have Flacco do it. Oh, because guess what? Now, I don't trust you. My trust has been broken. I don't care what the Cleveland Browns want to do. I don't care what they want to do. You want to sell people tonic water and say it cures all kinds of cancers and all kinds of diabetes and all types of skin ailments? You sell that over there. You've been exposed on live television. So now, when we sit up here and we say Shedeur Sanders could be playing, and you want to push back and say, he's just not ready. Well, Joe Flacco wasn't ready either, was he? He did say he wasn't ready. And look what happened right there. 342. Okay. When you say, we don't have receivers. We don't got receivers, G. Bush. That's why Joe Flacco is doing what he's doing. We don't have receivers, G. Bush. That's why Joe can do that. But remember what I said about picking the players? Kevin Stefanski picked the players. Kevin Stefanski picks the coach. And you want to say that we don't got receivers, but that's not what they just told us right here.
I've been very pleased with our young players that we have in the receiver room. They've done such a good job of coming in here and working hard. And you know, I think that we have some good leadership on this team. I really do. And I know that Tommy Rees has done a great job with the young.
The regime just told you they like their receiver room. So you can't use that excuse. Well, the Bengals obviously have the best receivers, and that's why Joe. No. Ooh. I gotta sound like an R&B singer on y'all. That's not what you said last night. So what is it? Am I supposed to believe you or not believe you? Huh? You said you like your receivers, but now you turn around and use that as an excuse. Checkmate. Now we've got your rooks and your pawns and your bishops and knights knocked off the board. This is what receipts do. Ironclad. Ironclad. You told us Joe wasn't it. Then Joe did it in 10 days. You said we don't have linemen. Their line is worse than ours. You said their receivers are better. But then you come back and you take that all off the board, and this guy tells you.
Players of really teaching, coaching those guys and trying to get them to help us win games. And that's certainly the attitude that they've had. They do everything that's to help the team. And I'm really excited to keep seeing these guys play. I really am. They've done everything we've asked from a preparation standpoint. And I think with increased opportunities, they'll have success.
Guess what? It's done. It's done. It's finished. I don't care if you win against the Dolphins and every bad team. I've seen enough. I'm done with it. And all of your reporters and all you back chat, all them group texts y'all got, it ain't going to equal up to this. Checkmate. Checkmates. By the way, let's bring this home before we get to super chats. This right here, please pay attention. 4,400 people in here. Please. It is time right here. This is the nail in the coffin. And we're going to show you how we always do it right over here with the barbershop. We not only give you the receipts, we give you emotion, we give you truth, but we also give you education and context of what's happening at a mental, physical, emotional, and historical level. Let's talk about this. Here we go.
Is it easier to remember negative events better than it is positive ones? Take a minute. Think of the last bad thing that's happened to you. Now, try and think of a happy memory. Which did you remember more in detail? Despite all the good things that might happen in our lives, we recall more easily on the few and the less common negative things, like failure, sickness, death, or other traumatic events. So we know that the more emotionally disturbing the experience is to us, the more likely we are to commit it to memory. Why? It's because memory and emotion are inextricably linked in our brains. We have many parts of our brain that control different responses, for example, emotions. The most prominent part of our limbic system when we go through a terrifying experience is the amygdala, which is practically our emotional processing center, dealing with a variety of emotions, but it more importantly focuses on fear and sadness. To try and answer why we remember negative events better than good ones, ask yourself, why would we want to forget them? Sure, they're an extreme emotional burden, but our brains weren't built for that kind of thing. No matter how strong we are, there are times when enough is enough.
The reason why you don't forget nothing is because it's important not to forget. Pain is always a deeper emotion. And the only reason we are here today talking about Kevin Stefanski not being it is because you saw the pain on TV. Close pain. Pain delivered by a team that is in the same state as you, the same division as you. And somebody you saw leave your team who did not play well, but then 10 days later, in a different jersey, in a different regime, with a different swag, put up points and dominated and had a game-winning drive against a team you couldn't score a touchdown with. You see, if it wasn't for Joe Flacco, we wouldn't be sitting here today. And it had to be emotional. It had to be painful. Because if it was just about talking about who the young kids are, nobody would care. No one cares that Shedeur Sanders got railroaded. Like, no one cares that, he's a fifth-round pick. He was no good. Everybody else passed on him. No one cares about that because they're not emotionally tied to it. And he hasn't played on the football field. But you know what? You send Joe Flacco to your division rival to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, who you haven't beat in 22 years, and you got to watch that on Thursday Night Football and then hear them chant, "Thank you, Cleveland." See, that hits different. It stings a little bit. And you got to see it and respect it. That is why all the media members are now turning. All the inbox comments, G. Bush, I never really agreed with you very often, but Flacco was the last straw. Yeah, it was the last straw because it went to your life points. You can understand it. It was the messaging was ironic, it was painful, and it was obvious. Remember what I said about you don't do anything unless you're forced to. Remember I told you about that politically expedient? People don't make no moves until the political landscape changes where they can get an off-ramp. We'll explain how that not only works in history, but it works in football too. We'll continue on.
Fundamentally, we remember these things to ensure that what we experience doesn't happen a second time, or we're at least prepared for the next time it might happen again.
0.
In this case, Neil deGrasse Tyson, or Neil Tyson deGrasse, whatever. He's a famous physicist, scientist. I know you've seen him. He's the most famous science black guy in the world. This interviewer asked him, when are we going to go to Mars? When are we going to go to Mars? We've been to the moon. Elon Musk are going to Mars. We about to have people on Mars. He said, when are we going to go? He said, never. And look at how puzzled this guy is. But watch the way he explains why we will never go.
Really?
Yeah. You want to know why?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's just 0.
I thought SpaceX going to go to Mars.
I have an unorthodox view on this, so you don't have to believe me. My read of history tells me that we only do big, expensive things if there's a geopolitical reason for it, either an economic reason or a defense reason.
We only do big things if it's geopolitical or an economic reason. Well, I think of an economic reason. They got their stadium built. There's one. And there's a geopolitical landscape to it too, right? The geopolitical landscape is we don't move unless something is really crazy out there that's really making us look wild. And I think it's ironic that Joe Flacco playing on national TV showing you that you're incompetent at the highest levels and you getting chance, thank you, Cleveland. I think that's enough geopolitical noise to make you get the quarterback and the coach and the regime fire, right? I think it is. But watch how he explains this in a way that this is just not, this is over, this is history, this is economics, this is everything.
Not just because it's the next thing to do. And when we went to the moon, you realize in 1961, May 25th, President Kennedy, this is 6 weeks after Yuri Gagarin flew around the Earth in orbit, and we didn't have a ship that wouldn't blow up on the launch pad that could carry humans yet. He calls a joint session of Congress and says, if the events of recent weeks, couldn't even utter the man's name, the events of recent weeks, and I paraphrase, are any indication of the impact of this adventure on the minds of men everywhere, then we need to show the world the path of freedom over the path of tyranny. It's a battle cry against communism, everyone in the whole Soviet Union. We were losing a technological race. And that was the battle cry that prompted Congress to write the check.
Realize that don't nothing get done unless there's political pressure. A lot of people be putting political pressure on people. You thought you was going to ride off into the sunset with all that tax money and all them dollars and get you a stadium and deliver this garbage on the field? You thought you was going to do that and keep the coach? All in the backdrop of, let's draft Shedeur Sanders. You wonder why they drafted 2 quarterbacks. You don't think people understand that you need some goodwill? You don't think, why you think they said, oh, Shedeur's going to play? And they made it sure he would play. Because guess what? They need goodwill. They need some political capital, and it brought them some money. And I'm talking about the space race. I'm talking about franchise quarterbacks. I'm talking about roads, buildings, infrastructure. Ain't nothing getting done without a political angle to it. This is why we different over here.
Later on, he says, "Oh, it'll be put a man on the moon and before return him to safely to Earth." And oh, that's so beautiful. Let's hold hands. That's so beautiful. No one ever spent scads of money just because it was a cool thing to do. That has never happened ever. So,
it's all a smokescreen. It's all illusion. But the problem is, if you're going to be in the media, you got to play by the illusion. This next skit right here, this is me describing what it feels like to not play the game. Oh, and this hits different. You ever feel like this? Put a 1 in the chat if this hit you a little different. You ever feel like you one of these? Yeah. Let's talk about it.
You know, there's something rather peculiar that happens to certain people. They walk into a room and they feel it all. The unspoken tension between two friends, the hidden sadness behind a smile. And we've been told this is a gift, haven't we? This ability to see what others miss. But I want to suggest something quite different to you today. That this very ability, this clear seeing, might be the most dangerous thing you'll ever possess. Now, I'm not speaking of danger in the ordinary sense. I'm not talking about physical harm. I'm speaking of something far more subtle and far more devastating. The danger of becoming so aware that you can no longer participate in the beautiful unconsciousness that allows most people to live their lives in relative peace. Have you ever watched people at a party? Really watched them? They're playing a game, you see. Everyone knows the rules without ever being told. You ask how someone is, they say fine. And you both pretend this is a complete answer. You compliment the host, you laugh at jokes that aren't particularly funny. You nod sympathetically at stories you've heard before. It's a kind of collective agreement to stay on the surface, to keep things pleasant, to not look too deeply. But then there's you, the one who sees through it all. You notice the wife who flinches slightly when her husband speaks. You sense the colleague who's desperately lonely, despite being surrounded by friends. You feel the anxiety rippling through the room like an invisible current. And here's where the danger begins. Because once you see these things, you cannot unsee them. And more troubling still, your very presence becomes a kind of mirror that others cannot bear to look into. Let me tell you what I mean. When you see clearly, when you perceive the hidden currents beneath social interaction, you're essentially calling attention to what everyone has agreed to ignore. And people don't like this. They really don't like this. Not because they're bad or stupid, but because your clarity threatens the very structure that allows them to function. Think of it this way. Society is rather like a stage play. Everyone has their part. The successful businessman, the devoted mother, the reliable friend. These are roles, you understand. Costumes we put on. And the play works beautifully, so long as everyone stays in character. But you, with your penetrating awareness, you're like an audience member who stands up in the middle of the performance and shouts, "But that's just an actor pretending." Well, you can imagine how welcome that makes you. The first danger, then, is isolation. And I don't mean the ordinary loneliness of not having enough friends. I mean something far more profound. The isolation of living in a completely different reality from everyone around you. You're speaking a language nobody else understands. You're seeing a world nobody else can see. And the terrible irony is that the more clearly you perceive, the more alone you become.
If you ever felt like that, put a 1 in the chat. You see, what we did there was we showed you what it's like to be in a place Where? The unwritten rules, the unwritten consciousness, the unwritten rule engagement. And the more you point it out, the more you become the target. Because now it's not the message. It's attacking what the message seems and says and what we mean. So when you point these things out, or people that want to be surface level, I don't understand the conspiracy. How could the Cleveland Browns, they say they're sabotaging an It's because you're playing a role. As I said before, half the time they don't even believe the things they say. The unwritten rule is to stay ignorant, never question authority, but at all times, make sure that you protect the infrastructure. People outside of the infrastructure, well, that's a problem. But I will say this. There's a thing called the internet. And if you want to know, go back to the beginning of the season. There was one person who said, and sometimes, and this is just an idea to let you know, don't be afraid to stand alone. Don't be afraid to be over there by yourself. When the world come and say you're crazy, you're delusional, you're too negative, you're over the top, you're too sensationalist, understand you might actually be getting to where you need to go. Never be afraid to stay apart, stand on your own, and always have a reverence for the truth, because the truth today might not be really cool today. It may not hit today. It may not be comfortable today, but there's a thing about the truth. It always shine. It always hit at some point. And when it becomes massive, obvious, people have a choice. Which one you gonna listen to? The person that keep moving the goalposts, the people that keep figuring out excuses, or the person you say, well, dang, he was right about that. Dang, he was right about that too. Dang. I from the Jump Street told you about the quarterback competition. But it's a difference. You can only fake in front for so long because you get outed. And the Cleveland Browns have been outed. They played a nice game. They thought this game was going to last the whole season. It lasted roughly 6-7 games. And now the point is, the spotlight is on who the spotlight is going to be on and should have been on from Jump Street. Not about Shedeur Sanders and his dad, Prime. Not about whether Dylan Gabriel is a supercomputer, not whether or not Myles Garrett is a leader, not matter of fact if Deshaun Watson's allegations is true, not whether Odell Beckham Jr. was a diva receiver that wasn't open or was open, whether Baker Mayfield was a franchise quarterback and we fumbled it. That ain't never been the issue. The issue has always stood squarely on the leadership of the people picking the players, coaching the players, developing the players, and actually sitting there at the top of the food chain. When there's fraud in the company, the CEO go to jail. The CFO go to jail. The COO go to jail. Even in court cases, they told Enron, no. You can't sit up here and tell me that you didn't know about it. It's your job to know. But every single time that something happens on that football field, it wasn't Kevin's fault. And you guys aren't slick, by the way. This is another straw man argument you got before we get to y'all's comments. Stop running around blaming people who are imaginary. You think that you're smarter than everybody because you want to point to D. Podesta. You don't even know what he does. You don't know what his role is. They don't divulge it. But you keep saying it's higher than that. It's at the ownership level. And This is disingenuous to start with. What billionaire owner don't run a team and be involved? They're billionaires by default. If the owner of your printing press wants to get new machines, he's going to get them. If the owner pulls up at your business and he's the CEO, he's going to get what he wants. What do you think that the owner's going to do? But you using him as a straw man for everything that goes wrong is futile. Kevin Stefanski calls his own plays. Kevin Stefanski picks the players he wants. Kevin Stefanski is the one with his Denny's play sheet every single week. He's the one that gets to call timeouts or challenge flags or do whatever he wants. For you to sit up here and talk about his D Podesta and you don't even know what he does is another way of you, if you are absolving Kevin Stefanski of any accountability. And it's not slick. We know what you're doing. Just say his name. Oh, I forgot you can't. I don't know. Maybe the group chat don't like that. Let's get to the comments here. 4,360 people in the building. I thank you for listening to this dissertation. We will now get to super chats. We will now get to your chats. We appreciate you all. If you want to be a part of our game review and our game, our review on Wednesdays, it's now Wednesday at 7 p.m. Let me tell you what we got coming. On Tuesday, members only live. We got members only live streams on Tuesday and Wednesdays, right? I encourage you. Hey, listen, don't take my word for it. Ask the members. For those members that are in here, ask them, is it worth it? Because what I want more than anything, I want you to get your money's worth. Is it worth it, right? Ask your fellow brethren in here. Is it worth it? We give you an hour-long film breakdown. Last week, we had Tyvis Powell in here. It was great. We broke down the Steelers tape. This next upcoming week, we're going to have Sean King. Quarterbacks in 26. You know, quarterbacks in 26. The quarterbacks in 26, G. Bush. The quarterback in 26. Well, we're going to find out which one of them ain't it. Because guess what? We got Sean King. We breaking down college tape. You ain't get... Who's breaking? You're not going to see nobody breaking down no college tape nowhere else. You get that. We're going to get that Wednesday. We get film reviews, right? So that's Wednesday. Then coming up on Tuesday, I got my brother Earl the Pearl. He's going to tell his story. From the block to the booth, man. A lot of people don't know. Me and Earl go to prisons together and talk to people and talk to these kids because he's from there. He's from the trenches. We're going to get his story, how I met Earl, how he got into the game, and how he went from the street, literal street in Cleveland, to being where he is today. He's going to talk about, for the first time, his passing of his mother. That happened a couple months ago, passing of his father. Please, it's going to be very riveting. Pull up, 7 p.m., members only live. I'm going to be bringing a rotation of people through there. I'm going to bring a rotation of cats through there. So you ain't just hearing me. I want you to get it from everybody else, right? You get to Barbershop, you get all of the stuff, my family blogs. I got a bunch of content. Top 5 is up there. So listen, and we communicate. We're going to get that in. So I just want to throw that out to you guys and let you know. You want to put the link will be in the description. You can join. And guess what? If it ain't doing you no service, cancel it. Like, yo, G. Bush, I like you. I just want to watch the Barbershop. That's okay. Come on over here on Saturday. We'll still talk. But go ahead and get in there. I appreciate you guys. Let's get to the super chats. Chantel, what's up? How you doing? TW said it proves the Browns don't know how to get the best out of any quarterback. So it's hard to believe that Sanders is not ready, according to who? The Browns traded me so I can be successful. Browns ruin QBs. But here's the thing. I'm excited. You know why I'm excited? We see it in real time now. So now, because what we've seen with Flacco, we're not trying to hear none of that stuff with Shedeur Sanders. They didn't disqualify themselves for the whole conversation. They don't know what they're looking at. I don't care what they think. They've disqualified themselves. You just made yourself look like a fool on national TV. And you want to tell us who ain't good. They're not qualified to tell us who's good. They're not at all. So for me, I'm going to wait my time. And we're going to see Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. And I believe when he gets an opportunity, he's going to show up and show out. Payne is savage. We see firsthand what a defibrillator can do to a team's culture in Cincinnati. It's time to Cleveland to try put they're wearing the 12 jersey. So I'm gonna just paraphrase because I destroyed that. It's time to see in a couple of days. It's gonna be time to see Shedeur. It is what it is. They're just waiting the time out. But it's gonna happen. And when it happens, you see the type of energy that it can give. I love what you said right there. Some people got that infectious energy. Some people just make people believe it. You see what synergy and that specialness can bring to a table to invigorate. Rest of these dudes don't live by that. I live by a different way. I know what something special can do. You can be down and out, but you get you a spark. I like this. ACAP Rocky 25. What a dang. Being mad at the best player on the top 3 defense is lost upon me, given the fact that we are paying 8 quarterbacks and have the worst offense in the league that can barely put up 10 points. It's what happens when you try these. See, you can't get me. I'm sorry, bro. I'm just keep it real with you, bro. But then again, I'm outside the structure because, people, I'm not supposed to do these things. I'm supposed to take what everybody say for face value, never question what a fellow media member says. Why? Y'all can question what I say. I let everybody question me. It's out there. Members, people in the chat, question me. I ain't never got a problem with having no intellectual conversation about the game of football. Some other people want to put stuff out there and don't stand by it. Stand by it. We public figures, right? Stand on business. How you mad at Myles Garrett? He a Hall of Famer. But you can't say nothing about an offense that is getting you smoked every single week. Come on, man. That's too obvious. You better than that. Come on now. We know what's jumping. We understand. We get it. Back to the lesson at hand. Where we at? Alfonso, it's refreshing to hear a voice that cuts through the propaganda. To some, for some, it's refreshing. To some, it's like nails on a chalkboard. Because they like, oh no. Because what I'm doing is holding the mirror up. Don't get mad at the mirror. What do you see here? I'm just showing you what you see. But a lot of people in general are scared to change anyway. Let me tell you this. What you're saying is the entire, and people say, gee, Bush, man, you be always going against the media. You always talk about, I might listen. Like the people who report on this, the content, this is a content age. I won't even say media. Content is something that forces you to have an emotion or opinion. That's why the NFL is so popular, because they give you narratives and storylines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. And it'd be out of season. If there's no games happening, if there's no practices happening, and it's December or April or May and nothing happening, how do you think they get to 24-hour news cycle? When I was growing up, TV used to just go off. 2 o'clock in the morning and show the national anthem. Funniest thing Steve Harvey ever said. Back in the day, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, they play the national anthem and they go black or colored lines. Somebody got smart and said, hold on. Why don't we just extend that? I mean, because the longer we can keep them online and watching, the more advertising we can sell, right? Because it's going to be people that's watching. More money for us. I mean, they don't got to be. I mean, the games is what really count, but who cares? They'll forget about what we said in April or May, and don't count. The games count. So now the content game is different because that's what we do. We create content to get emotion out of people. But the different part about it is I just ain't for it. I still do content. I still do tell stories. I still try to be entertaining, but certain things I can't get into. Stay tuned. They more mad about the defense that keeps you in games when the coach is an epitome of self-destruction. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for the super chat. You tell on yourself every time they do it. And by the way, it's the Myles Garrett's greatest hits. They think it's low-hanging fruit. And the reason they do it is because they're trying to invoke an emotion out of the Cleveland Brown diehard fans that'll give cover. I'll write an article about Myles Garrett and why he's not a leader. Well, I'm sorry, bro. Those stories and articles don't work anymore. You know why? Because your coach was outed. It's the same reason I told you. We went to the moon, not because we wanted to have innovation, not because we wanted to do something greater. We went to the moon because we were scared the Russians went first and they was going to put a satellite up here and they had grandeur thoughts of sci-fi wars. So we said, oh no, we going to go to the moon too and going to do it quickly. Yeah, you know good and well. You do things because you got a motive to it. Like, come on, bro. Every single time there's an issue, it's a Myles Garrett story, not the 13.7 points you get in the game. Come on, man. Come on now. Christian Story. Talk that talk, G. Bush. I listen to you because you speak for Browns fans. You don't show allegiance to certain coaches or players except Shedeur. But we want the best for the Browns. Here's the thing about this too. And this is so crazy to me. When you talk about Shedeur Sanders, the only thing that I've asked for, is an opportunity to show he could play. I never said start him day one. The Cleveland Browns came to me and told me that there was a quarterback competition. But now they mad because I said it ain't a competition because he's throwing to trainers and water boys and towel guys and trash cans on the side. All I wanted is an opportunity. When he played well in the game, I got people that's telling me, oh, that don't count. I said, I want the same opportunity that Dylan Gabriel got. Oh, no, that's not possible. And then you go about making Dylan Gabriel the next coming of Steve Young. And it's like, bro, it's a big difference between third and fifth round. And then they go about discrediting him. He's a fifth round pick. So the crazy part about it is that people will try to make you seem, not you, Christian, not thank you, not you. I like that Shedeur LOL. It was cool. But these folks ain't asked. Y'all the one came up with all the story and the vitriol and this, that. Nobody brought that up. All the kid done did is be here, be a good teammate and be here and practice hard. But the narrative stuff make you be like, come on, man. We asking for reps. He doesn't deserve reps. He's immature. He's doing things for publicity. Like, come on, bro. You telling more about yourself than you is anything else. That type of energy be wild, bro. I don't understand it. Men shouldn't be, I sound like Dame Dash. Men shouldn't be doing that. You should be hating like that, bro. Rodney Dinkins. G, you have to get that dude who sits on your right on the show. He's a straight clown. The one who, the one that got to pee all the time. Well, that could be a couple people. Tyvus be having to go to the bathroom a lot. Jason, dude, Dustin be having to go. Actually, to be truthful, when I was diabetic, like I used to like I've been walking and doing things. When I was diabetic, I used to have to go to the bathroom all the time, like on the show, and I didn't know that that's a sign of high, elevated sugar levels. So if you are a person, I'm no longer diabetic. I mean, I am, but it's under control. Due to losing weight and watching my sugar intake and being on a diet that I don't eat too much of the stuff that causes it. But if you're out there and you're a man or a woman and you are going to the bathroom frequently or you're excessively thirsty, that is a sign that you could be possibly having that. So there's just a little, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. Please don't tell me, go see your doctor. I got to do this because people like G. Bush told me that. No, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just saying those were my symptoms and signs. So if you're having those, check out, go consult your physician. But hey, listen, man, everybody got an opinion. I don't got no problem of going back and forth about their opinion. So, but I just happen to value mine more. No, I'm playing. I've been waiting on this episode since the end of Thursday night. It still have this coach and GM on Monday. Win or not crazy work. Are those two Teflon or made men? Zip them up. Shout out to K Shine. Shout out to K Shine. Zip them up. Hey, listen, by the way, they're not Teflon. Myles Garrett's comments sealed it. Myles Garrett's comments sealed it. I don't care if they beat the Dolphins. It's fine if they beat the Dolphins, right? I'm going to celebrate if they beat the Dolphins, but I don't change my long-term approach about what Kevin Stefanski is and ain't. It's not about this year. He done had six years of body of work, and the body of work ain't been good enough. If it ain't the offense, it's the dink and dunk nature. If it ain't the offense and the dink and dunk nature, it's the game management. If it's not the game management, it's all the other stuff that come with it. The clock management. It's the special teams. It's the lack of development, the lack of draft, all that stuff. I'm done with it. I am done talking about it, and I'm not arguing with folks over it. Like, I'm at the point where this is 3-4 years for me, so I'm like, I'm just waiting for the game. If they get blew out against the Dolphins, I know something. Christian Gray, done making excuses for coaches in the front office, blaming players for not wanting to risk their bodies for a losing culture. And this is the crazy thing. Like, we have people sitting here telling about the dome and the draft and these It's like, bro, what do you think? Do you guys think that you guys are not above being replaced? What kind of charlatans y'all think y'all is, bro? This is wild. How do you feel like you that charming and that you doing so many you just so charismatic that you feel like you can lose games, waste people's time, money, and energy, and we still gonna keep you around and put you in a new stadium? I ain't coming to that. And then I thought about something. Ain't no way they seeing that dome. They won't see it. Remember what I said. Things don't get done nowhere unless it's politically convenient. How can you sell a dome with this same regime going into it? Everybody know this. When you buy a new house, your house of your dreams, the brand new house that you done spent that down payment on, nobody brings the old furniture. Nobody brings that furniture. Nobody brings that old stuff you had in that old apartment, that hand-me-down furniture that you got from your mom or your sister or a coworker that didn't want a couch. No one brings them old dishes and Walmart set pans and pots. When you get you a new house and you got it to get the new house, and you done walk people through, and you done seen it, and you already know what kind of upgrades you gonna do on them new wood floors. You ain't bringing that old sofa over here. You ain't getting nothing out no storage. You about to go all new. Because it don't even match the color of your paint. It don't even match the decor. Them pictures that you had up there, we ain't doing that. We got a new vibe. We ain't talking about bringing nobody up in there. Them coaches can't even come up there with that stench. Won't even get it. They won't even get it. I'm telling you. I just made me think. I said, bro, these dudes ain't about to be up out here. Nothing. These dudes ain't doing nothing. They'll never make it to that stadium. If it ain't this year, which it's going to happen. But next, they ain't going to make it. Another Skywalker. Thank you so much, my brother, for the super chat. We appreciate you. I always tell people, if you can't, listen, I appreciate every single super chat we get. I'm going to read them with my chest. I'm going to give you your money's worth. And that's how we're going to do. I believe in giving you your money's worth. If I got to cut my content a little bit to get to it, I will do it. If you don't feel bad if you can't afford no super chat, you know how you can help us? Write what you're doing. Engage with the show. Put comments. Like, share. It helps our content get out to like-minded people, and that's what it's about. So don't feel like you ain't got to feel burdened to do a membership. You ain't got to feel burdened in super chat. We just appreciate you pulling up and doing what you're doing and chatting and commenting on YouTube as well in this chat. That's part of being part of the community. We thank you. They put 12 in with UPS drivers and said, don't make excuses. He must perform. Dylan Gabriel starts. They make every excuse because the line is bad. Now even the coach is a victim. Even though his players look like Pro Bowlers as soon as they leave. Beautiful, another Skywalker. That's how you go right to the point and get to him. Writing all these excuses. Now that victim game is corny. Now how you a victim and you a head coach. And you a play caller. Nobody didn't call Alex Van Pelt a victim when he won Coach of the Year and they fired him. How you the offensive coordinator but don't call plays? And you the quarterback coach. The quarterback that you coach was Joe Flacco. He won comeback player of the year. And your head coach, who actually does call the plays, won coach of the year. But I got fired? Kevin been scapegoating people from the jump. He been scapegoating people from the jump. He put Baker back out there hurt. They play your way out of this position. We ain't paying you no money. We play your way out of it. He knew he was hurt. And they was paying Case Keenum $8 million to be a backup. Case Keenum came in on Thursday night and won a football game against the Denver Broncos. He came in and won that football game. And the next week, Kevin Stefanski put Baker right back out there, hurt. Why you got the most expensive backup in the league at $8 million and won't use him? You know why? Because he wanted him to play his way out of a position, which Baker did. And when he played his way out of the position, they said, well, now you proved we're not going to give you that money. He been doing that. Traded Odell in the middle of the season. It ain't the first time. They traded Odell. They cut Odell, sent him out to the Rams, and he had more touchdowns with the Rams in 6-7 games than he had his entire time in Cleveland. And they traded him and cut him because he had the nerve. Somebody had the nerve to show why Kevin Stefanski couldn't get Odell Beckham Jr. to football at all. So you know what they did? They jettisoned him. Get up out of here. I'm just saying. Julian Anthony. LOL. Q went crazy on Garrett too. It was weird. What are you going crazy on Myles Garrett for? Like, what are you guys doing? These gymnastics is crazy. Like, it's very telling. What are you talking about? You're not rooted in reality. So somebody said it like this. It's like your house is burning down. It's like your house is burning down. And instead of you telling your kids to get out the house, you notice on the way out the back door that the kid didn't put the dishes away. And you turn to him and say, I'm so disappointed to you. I'm so disappointed. I told you to put those dishes away yesterday, and here they are sitting in the sink. And everything around your house is burning down. The whole house is engulfed in flames. Your life is in danger. and you so petty, short-sighted, and ridiculous, you talking about your kids didn't put the dishes away? That's you complaining about Myles Garrett when all of this other stuff is happening. It don't make you look smart. It make you look like a fool. Why? Kevin's not going to put you on his staff. He's not inviting you to a cookout. No one's going to say, you know what, you're so well thought out. We're going to put you on with us and we're going to have you do the Browns countdown. Boy, I tell you, don't hold your breath, people. Everybody's going to be on everybody's on the internet. Ain't no more, Pat McAfee started on the internet. I'm going to make it to Sports Center one day. No. They done got all rid of those. All them people up there, they doing what we doing right here, over here, but not as good. I'm just playing. Some of your stuff I like. I'm just playing. Saturday, JOK almost lost the rest of his life playing for this ungrateful fan base in the media. Look how quick they moved to Carson. Miles sees that. Listen, NFL stands for not for long. All them thoughts and prayers. Remember, I just showed you a thing about how people will say a lot of things and you know they ain't true. Say a lot of cliches and you know they don't mean it. But what you have to do is you have to think. They got to make people think that it really hit them. And folks don't care nothing about that. It's a gladiator sport. Long live the king. The king's dead. I'm the new king. Everybody liked the gladiator champion until he get beat by the new champion. Roman, it's the gladiator sport. It's what we crave. It's what we want. It's what our culture is built on. You're only good as your last game, is what I was told. Even though if the previous game was great. Christian Story. What a name. They blame the owner as a cop-out. There you go. Jimmy ain't the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's spinning a bag everywhere. So which is it? I always ask people, Jimmy spins a bag over here. The Dolans don't spin no bag over here. You say the Dolans is trash because they won't put no money up. You say Jimmy is dumb because he put the money up, but it'd be in the wrong place. You say that, you say that's why I don't like both sidesism. I don't respect people that do that. You know what both sidesism people do? They just don't want to call a spade a spade. No, we're not equally as bad. No, that person isn't as bad as that person. That person did that over there, and it was markedly different from that person. But you think you're intellectually smart because you could play the middle. We ain't trying to play the middle over here. No. At the end of the day, you would rather blame a guy like D. Podesta, who you don't even know what happens. You don't know his face when he comes to the office, what his job title is. You say it's him. All because you don't want to mention Stefanski. I kind of know why you do that too, but I'll leave that for another day. That's another show. Real Ben Maynard, you know, I'm not afraid to stand on my opinion. I didn't comment because he was no-show versus the O-line versus Minnesota. Serp, if you perform well, he was MIA. Well, real Ben Maynard, listen, if you want to talk about his play on the football field, that you're entitled to do that. But Myles Garrett's play on the football field has been demonstrably better than anybody else's that you've had in the last 6 years. All of them combined. Nobody has played better than Myles Garrett. There's no better player. So my thing is, yes, you could talk about and question Myles Garrett, but my problem is where's the focus on a guy who's been bad at his job and is 4-something? You do know that they have the worst offense in the league. So the person with the worst offense in the league should be getting a higher proportion part of the blame over a Hall of Fame candidate who's done nothing but play at literally the best defensive player, highest level in the game. You're asking him to cover up for the fact that where Mason Graham been at? I find it funny. We ain't said where's McGuire and Alex Wright? I ain't heard them names in a minute. Reality of the situation, if Myles Garrett's not on this football team, they're a winless football team. Winless. But that's the problem. Why is it so hard for Kevin and his staff to be authentic? Some people ain't authentic. Some people ain't real. Some people think analytics departments at the worst think that people are broken down into numbers and spreadsheets. And when you operate as people as numbers and spreadsheets on numbers and people on a spreadsheet, and that you can get anybody, anything, you neglect the fact that this is a human sport and a human society. You need human beings to be able to do your job. You need people to feel like you care about them, that you have their best interest at heart. Not saying that they don't do that in some respects, but they don't know how to communicate. It's a corporate atmosphere. In corporations, they don't see people as they see profit and losses, control and lack of control. That's what they value, not winning. G. Bush, they mad at Myles. They told the truth and they had no plan. Now they mad because he's proven right. There it is. He told y'all, and now they mad because he got his money and he don't got to pay attention to you. Because even if you said trade Myles Garrett, guess what? You can't. The cap hit is devastating. You won't be able to field a team. So Myles Garrett is basically telling everybody, shut your mouth. Hear what I'm talking about. I'm doing a radio show now. See how I like it? How you like these apples? I ain't heard that in a minute. Who says that now? What up, G. Bush? David Walker, we appreciate you, my guy. Raymond, we appreciate you as well. Dapper Daddy, we appreciate you. I had to say it because I want to make sure I call your name out. What up, G. Bush? I'm a new subscriber, and I'm worried about Shedeur. Trade him to the Rams and Raiders so it can be legendary. They say some would rather lose in their way than win somebody else's. I agree with that. Here's the thing. We can't trade him, dog. Any trade's got to come through G. Bush. The Jets called the other week ago. I said, kick rocks. The Bengals called a few days ago. I said, we're not going. We at the doorstep now. I done weathered the storm. Kevin Stefanski is a lame duck coach. My goal is, hey, listen, get a play calling to Tommy Reese. Let's cook, and let's see what Shedeur going to do. I need my shot. I need to see him. If he's going to get his chance, he's going to get his chance to be legendary right here first. I ain't sat here and watched this for nothing. All the pain of seeing Flacco balling and Baker balling, and you don't even know. People talk about, Deshaun's washed. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. I'm rethinking everything with this team, especially when it comes to quarterback. Kirk Davis. What the HE double hockey sticks is watching our receiver room is cheeks. Our offensive line is cheeks. Playbook, cheeks. Stefanski, mad cheeks. Barry, extra cheeks. I had to throw some extra words in there, Kirk Davis, because I couldn't agree more. What is he talking about? That's the level of propaganda that the Browns is putting out. But it's great because you use that against him. He likes his receiving core. So if they like him, they drafted him, and they're not good enough, whose problem is that? Theirs. That's another fireable offense. That you thought that was good behavior. You thought that was good. Doggy bone. Culture is cancer. I agree. Greg George, what up, cuz? Fire everyone from the offensive staff, scouting department, GM staff, analytics, entire staff. Man, fire anybody that has a O or F in their name. That's crazy. That's offense, front office. Leo King Jones, Dylan is going to see the same defense every week, and Judkins is going to suffer because of it. And if you want to see why Dylan Gabriel is not performing well, check out those blogs. I got some right there with Tyvis Powell. He's not taking shots downfield. To be fair, there are plays in Kevin's playbook where even they do have some plays that are open downfield. Dylan Gabriel's just not taking those shots. And by the way, I still believe that he has trouble seeing when he's throwing the ball outside, or down the middle of the field. Salvation, big fan, G. Bush. Tired of hearing from people who never touched the football. And I'm an inclusive person. I'm inclusive. Listen, I don't believe that you need to play football in order to know what you're talking about. The only prerequisite I have is do the homework, do the studying. Stop telling me what other people told you, or I'm not an analyst. I trust so-and-so. I don't trust nobody. I don't trust myself. For real. Human nature is flawed. We are all flawed. I am flawed. There are times you don't want to do something. There are times you get lazy, complacent, tired, angry, upset. I don't trust myself, nor should anybody else. The human nature and human condition is that we are truly flawed. Sometimes you get stupid stuff to come around across your mind, but what the heck? Devil, you need to shut up. You playing too much. Why do I even think of that? Listen, trust myself. But what you can trust is those who are diligent that fight through those things and always say, I am not the end all be all. I am not the end all be all. I told you on this channel multiple times, you may like the way I talk, how I move, what I say, but you shouldn't even take what I'm saying for face value, everything I say. You're supposed to parse what I'm saying, run it through your filter, and then do your research, and then come out and say, okay, I can agree with that because I did X, Y, and Z, or I see where he was saying, or I disagree. Don't take nothing from nobody with a microphone as gospel, because we are inherently flawed. And I'm telling you that straight up. All of us, everybody with one of these mics. Preach, G. Bush, James Mace Jr. We appreciate you, man. I'm trying to. Booch Wyatt. It's always the same type of people going off on the players being fed up, giving shut up and dribble vibes. But I won't go there. You know how they get when they take it there. Hey, bro, I told somebody back when that was a popular term and phrase, when you can see, this is what happens in America. We have phrases that people say, and then you can get that off. But I told somebody, if you tell me shut up and dribble, you might as well call me out my name. Because you trying to tell me, you trying to dehumanize me as a human. Like I'm only here for your entertainment purposes. Like I'm supposed to tap dance and make you feel good about why life is bad. You better stop playing with me. I take that as you might as well call me at the highest levels. Let somebody listen. Yeah, we don't. And then, you notice that shut up and dribble stuff kind of dissipated because they learn, oh, we can't say that. They done caught on what that mean. Uber driver, what brand of glasses do you have on? These are called Ditas. Now, here's the thing. I got these from Eye Candy. Shout out to Eye Candy. It's two different places around. I like their glasses because they're very, see, I like big glasses. I like the big joints. I like my glasses to look like goggles. And I got a bigger face. I'm trying to lose my face a little bit, but I got a bigger face. So I can't be having these little pencil teacher glasses. So I like the big, thick frames. You know what I'm saying? I like my glasses be accessories. So shout out to Eye Candy, man. That's the place you go. It's a dope place. Make sure you check that out. Salvation Miles calling out the coaching in front office is real leadership. There you go. Hashtag 330. Speaking truth to power. He ain't been wrong. He also said, I don't know what y'all talk about. Shedeur Sanders been out here before and after practice. I'd be going by the coach's office and be seeing him in there. Okay. G. Bush, doggy bone. I bet the same bull they keep selling to people, they did the same to Miles. Management. We're going to bring some people in to win, Miles, a.k.a. here's some money now, shut up. And the problem is when they gave him the money, they figured out that they couldn't shut him up because that's the way it works. Now he got the money. You can't cut him or trade him. So now they're like, oh, I'm salty. Crystal, when a woman's fed up, it ain't too much to talk about. Now, listen, when a woman fed up, running out of love, whoo, it's like running out of love. Should be sitting at that dinner table looking crazy like this, disinterested. Remember, she used to, when your girl stopped making you a plate, you might as well chalk it up, bro. When she stopped making you a plate, or she make you the plate, but she be low-key slamming the drink down, doing the drink like this, sliding the drink over. Take this. She used to ask you, so we got orange juice, coffee, water, tea, diet, soda, apple juice, a smoothie. I can make you a smoothie too. But she started to be like, hey, listen, the drinks is in there. It's a wrap, bro. Kirk Davis, at this point, Grant Delpit and Miles, like, I'm here just to be here, so I won't get fined. They is hit me with the vibes. I'm just here. I'm just trying not to give up, get fined. Know a lot. I like that name. Ask them folks next week who helped 5 wideouts make it to the league within 2 years span. How someone do that and be as bad as they want to say is crazy. That's because they don't know. We already went over that. Know a lot. So here's why I don't pay attention too much. So you say, did you watch him in college? No. Well, that's strike one. Did you watch film of him in college? Nope, that's strike two. When you're at practice, have you been able to see him play in practice? Have you been able to see so when you say he don't know the playbook, did you see him go to the line of scrimmage, call a play, and the coach stop the play and say, unacceptable, that don't work. That's the wrong play. Get back on the line, because that's what happens when you make a mistake in practice. The coach says, hey, sweet, direct, bring it back. That's the wrong look. Guys, we're supposed to run a guy in motion. He's not on the line. Did you see that? No. Strike 3. Strike 4, when practice is going on, do you see him throw the football? Are you seeing the game plan? Do you see what is accurate? No. That's strike 4. Who are you hearing it from? Why are you paying attention then? So you didn't watch him in college. You don't watch game tape. You didn't see him in practice. You can't watch practice. And the only thing that you telling me is what the coach say, who's incompetent, because we just saw him tell us that Joe Flacco was garbage and traded him, and we see him throw for 350 in 2 days. Come on now. I ain't listening to that. To me, if you lose the locker room, regardless of coach, they have to go. Carroll lost messaging with Seattle's. He was fired, and he's a Hall of Famer. There you go. See, me and the real Ben Maynard, we go back and forth, Ben. But one thing we can agree on here, Ben, is when players start chirping, it's a wrap. Ain't no coming back from that. Because, look, the calculus is I will be here longer than you will. So what happens if Myles Garrett comes up with a hamstring? What if what if Grant Delpit has a knee contusion and Denzel Ward has concussion symptoms? You see, I don't want to go there because y'all going to start accusing these folks, but I'm just saying, what happens? Miss Bell 70 means Mary Kay is lying about the recent, seeing how accurate Shedeur throws now. She's telling you what he did in training camp. He's been accurate. I mean, I was confused. I was like, wow. No, Shedeur's always been accurate. His stats have said that since, ever. If you've watched him, he's always been that. If you watched him the first game of the year, with no reps, he was accurate, throwing the ball between 3-4 people. I don't know why was this left out? Emmanuel Johnson. Hey, G, just got in. You see the part where Mary Kay asks Miles if he sees anything on and off that gives him hope? He says something alluding to young guys that are ready and ready to make plays. You know who he want. I've been saying it. We covered that on my members only live stream. Miles Garrett been saying you're trying to see something. Why do you think that they took that piece off the board? I mean, this is looking bad. Don't come out here Saturday, Kevin. Don't come out here playing. It's going to be windy. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be looking like nasty work. You better get your mind ready. Jonathan McGriff. G. Bush, I'm proud of you, brother. You kept your composure. I really thought you might lose it, but you handled it well. A Buck fan, thanks for Baker. Kevin Stefanski is the Bucks in the Ring of Honor. Nah, there's one thing that I never do. This is light. Let me tell y'all something. I work regular jobs. You think this is hard? All I'm doing is going back and forth about opinion about a game of football. That's it. Why would I crash out? There's nothing to crash out about. I get an opportunity to do what I love to do and sit here and talk and build an audience and a community of people that want to be entertained and hear me tell stories. Why would I crash out? Ain't nothing to crash out about. And by the way, when you write, you unbothered. Pickett, correct. Flacco, correct. So far, it looked like I'm correct on Dylan Gabriel. I told you, go ahead and put Bailey Zappi out there. Let him see what's going to happen. They quickly made a decision that Shedeur would be a backup. Like that. And I told you when that happened, why you think we would be doing victory laps about being the backup quarterback? I told you Kevin's offensive playbook was trash way before this, before Shedeur was here, before Deshaun Watson was here. I got the videos. See, here's the reality about me and different other people. I got over 500 videos. 5 individual 100. So what I'm saying is documented. It's sealed in the archives. You Johnny-come-latelys, maybe y'all just pulled up. Maybe a lot of dudes, I know a lot of dudes that came from the major places down here now, and they don't do no individual shows. I do UCSS 5 days a week. I do the Bleacher Report 4 days a week. I do Ultimate Browns once a week. I do the Barbershop. I do the Browns post game. I do the Barbershop post game. I do the film review. I do another members only Listen, my videos is there. I've been saying this and doing this and moving this way. How we going to, you can't crash out. You know what you got to have? And I'm bringing people on here that be knowing. Corroborated. Beautifully blessed. G. Bush, you slept good last night. Boy, you on it today. Beautifully blessed. Thank you. Shout out to my brother. I was out bowling with my family. We bowled last night. My brother Bryson, he turned 41. I was out. It was crazy because my niece Zara, it was basically her birthday party. We went to Main Event in Avon, and it was basically bowling. And we got us some games in. So we hang out, chill. She came to the what's her name? You know how she is. She the only baby in the family. She pulled up. She be ordering her own food. I said, girl, you crazy. You crazy, girl. She was like, yeah, I've been here before. She 4. I've been here before, and I had the mac and cheese. It was good. So I think I'm going to go between the mac and cheese and spaghetti. Her mom goes, you like spaghetti? Which one you going to get? She's like, mac and cheese. She was like, what percentage are you sure? 100. Yeah, I'll have the mac and cheese and 100. And then she got mad because she fell asleep and kind of woke up and everybody had ordered desserts. So she said, where's my dessert? I didn't get no dessert. Can I have a menu? I said, you going to ask for a menu? She's crazy. But we got a blog coming up too. You'll get a chance to see, Zara. We appreciate you, beautifully blessed. And Nancy, I'm sick of hearing I don't have no sympathy for 95 because he got his back. He deserved every penny of it. I appreciate his honesty. Did Kevin lose the locker room? Oh, that's gone. That's gone. NSYNC gone. Been gone. That locker room's out of here. This dude's questioning play calling. He talked about they should have gave Quinshawn and Junkins the ball more. I'm like, dang, bro. This dude mild up there. He out there telling more than, I don't know, bro. That's been gone. Raymond, why does the media love Kevin Stefanski so much? Well, if he leaves, he will be successful somewhere else. So owners see the numbers of his offense. Bruce Arians exposed what coaches really think about. By the way, you notice when you give, I give examples to what I'm doing. I always tell people, let me give you an example why Kevin is not dope. Kevin's not good because the people around the league, Chase Daniels was like, I don't know what offense this is, watching the Pittsburgh offense. And I don't know why I'm not trying to be mean to Dylan. Bruce Arians like, yo, I don't know why he still has a job. And he was the quarterback coach for Roethlisberger, Tom Brady with the Buccaneers. Like, come on. Every time you say that, but we feel like Kevin will get a job tomorrow somewhere. Who cares? I don't care if he get a job at the gas station, 7-Eleven. I don't care if some other team is foolish enough to make them his head coach. I wish him all the motion. I wish him the most success in the world. But he just got to go for my squad, though. He got to go. Salvation, just because Barry's playing chess don't mean he winning. Hey, that's another thing. You playing a dangerous game because your drafts ain't been hitting either. Your drafts is kind of, sort of. No, but here's the thing. The big chip in the back of his pocket is the owner already said Shedeur going to play. And if he plays and he plays well, they're going to mess around and try to give Andrew Berry a lifetime deal after this fiasco. The messed up part about it is Kevin Stefanski was smart. He would understand that too, wouldn't he? Wouldn't he? Miss Bell 70, I'm 70. I've been watching football 52 years. Hearing Kevin Stefanski say a fair quarterback competition, I call BS and knew this was going to be a you-know-what show. And they haven't failed me. You're right. You're right. Shout out to Miss Bell. It's a blessing to touch down on 70. It's a lot of people that don't get to see that. So we appreciate you to many more to you, Miss Bell. To many more. Miss James Mace Jr., not Stefanski trying to sell you sea moss. Oh, yeah, bro. Rubbing all on your neck. My grandma used to have this thing called liniment. J.D. Watkins. And it was like, I remember my neck was hurting. She said, put some of this liniment. Now, this stuff, if you know, put it in the chat. When you put that liniment on, it's worse than icy hot. I'm like, bro, this is a mix between moonshine, icy hot, and Myoflex. But it penetrates your muscles. I got sore because I was hitting that 2-a-day practice in high school. They put some of this J.D. Watkins on, boy. It wouldn't come out. My neck was just on fire. I said, I will never do this again. Selling that. So I'm like, yeah, this is good for everything. You just soaking this. I'm like, bro, this is wild work. If you know, you know. G. Bush, did he break Deshaun Watson? Darvis Harvey, I'm going to tell you this. A lot of people will tell you why Deshaun Watson was that bad. And look at the rest of the quarterbacks that were that bad. And all of the quarterbacks have been looking that bad. DTR played 1 touchdown, 10 interceptions. He didn't even know he was playing half the games. He came to the stadium. I didn't know I was starting today. Deshaun Watson looked bad. Joe Flacco looked terrible this year. The common denominator is Kevin Stefanski. But the reason people don't really like Deshaun Watson a lot, to be honest with you, is because Deshaun Watson to them was the reason that Baker Mayfield was no longer here. And so that plays a role in it. Some of it is, I don't like the allegations. That plays a role in it. Some of it is, I don't like the fact that they gave up all them draft picks to get him. That's it. And the next part about it is, people in Cleveland, I'm going to be honest with you, they don't be liking outsiders like that. When you get somebody, think about it like this. The second we get a player from another place or trade for him, the first thing that they want to say is, are you bought into Cleveland? Or you never wanted to be here? Or why are you here? I don't like this guy. We didn't draft him. He's from a big city. Why does he wear those cleats? Why, look, bro, you wore a different city's hat. Like, we just be doing stuff like that, bro. So a lot of it be like, you gotta pledge allegiance to Christmas Ale, Great Lakes Brewery. You got to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You can't wear no other hats, even though you live there and we're from there. And you got to say, I'm prepared to live in Cleveland the rest of my life. Yeah, that's the way it works. They got mad at LeBron James for saying he was from Akron, not Cleveland. His birth certificate says Akron. I'm from Canton. You gonna get mad because I'm from Canton? What kind of ideology, y'all? Never mind. Keep going. Kevin's egos will destroy DG's career, not to not play Shedeur. Ms. Bell, let me tell you something. I think that's out of his purview. I just simply don't think that it's in Kevin Stefanski's hands anymore. When they traded Flacco, I think the writing was on the wall. It was a matter of time before Shedeur plays. I didn't know if y'all remember, but the movie Idiocracy, but that reminds me of the Browns front office. It reminds me of Dumb and Dumber too. Dog Bone, appreciate so much for the super chat. Fire Stefanski, Barry and DePodesta. Dealer choice, replace Barry and DePodesta. Bring in Flores as the head coach. Bring back Ken Dorsey to call plays. And forward to the practice squad. Elevate Marshall, trade Kyle Pitts. Build up the O-line. Get Will Shepard. Tate in the draft. You had a whole... Boy, you got the whole thing down. You got the whole system, what you about to get to. He got a whole 10-part program. Doggy Bone, I appreciate the super chat. I don't know if they'll bring Ken Dorsey back. Are you talking about John Dorsey? No, Ken Dorsey to call the plays. Be more Samad. Kevin Stefanski and Sherman offense has the same core principles. Shedeur ran it for 2 years. They want us to believe he still doesn't know it, while Dylan Gabriel learned it all in an off season. We're tired of the tropes. By the way, somebody said this, and I don't know who did it. How you gonna say the band have been here 5 months? They put the offense in rookie minicamp. So in 5 months, Shedeur Sanders can't learn a playbook full of checkdowns, short routes, stick routes, and an offense that is so complex that it gets 13 points a game. Pull up to listen, I just don't tell you that. We do the film breakdown over here. There is nothing complex about their offense. And if you want to know why, pull up on Wednesdays. We'll tell you at 7 o'clock and show you with our own 2 eyes why it's not groundbreaking. But they trying to tell you they can stop. You don't know it. Elogenesis. When you have imitation, you get limitation. Kevin Stefanski. Shedeur is the truth. Cleveland media and some fans are so intellectually dishonest. I would just like to tell them like this, my guy. Just say you don't like him. Just say, I didn't know much about him, don't like him, I came over with him. At least I can respect you. I can respect what you're saying, but don't hide behind all that other stuff. Dawn Adams, this was a master class. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the time and effort and energy that you guys took. So watch me. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. Be more Samad. Ask Jason, etc. why Kevin Stefanski and Shedeur dropping back behind the 4th string line. When was he calling quick outs for Dylan Gabriel? By the way, somebody said this is even, I'll keep giving credit. I think, who says this? Who said this? I can't remember. I'm gonna give you credit for it. It's gonna come to me. He said, how is it that Dylan Gabriel can get sacked 6 times with the first team offense and nobody says anything? But Shedeur gets sacked 5 times against guys that aren't even in the NFL no more, working at Giant Eagle and grocery stores. But somehow that was the worst game they've ever seen in their life. He was running back. He's going to get sacked. I told Chris Rose, shout out to Chris Rose. He said, he's just not going to be ready. I mean, it's going to be really bad. I said, Chris, Dylan Gabriel got sacked 6 times. What is Shedeur going to get sacked 12? No, I didn't say that. No, you're alluding that it's going to be somehow devastating. I done watched every bad quarterback play for the Cleveland Browns since 1999. It's not, ain't no way you go. The bottom line is, if you get in that football game, you ain't got no other recourse. Because if he balls out, I can't listen to you no more. I can't, bro. Stefanski I done already wrote him off. But I'm going to tell you, what are you going to do when he actually plays well? I don't know. Who's that speaking G. Bush in that clip? Man, they speaking in them clips, man. Bond look better with Joe. He looks lost with Dylan Gabriel. Well, I'm going to say, listen, the offense looks kind of lost, period. I mean, I watched the game at a watch party, and it was unimaginable. Like, I was just like, these guys ain't close to scoring no points. Mary asks, great content, G. Talking football with psychological twists. Keep cooking. Oh, yeah, fire Stefanski. Let's go, Shedeur. Mary S. got the best profile pick on the game. Bro, that is the opinion. When I think of see you, auntie, that is the epitome of it. Right there. That photo. How come everybody's sources are believable over Eric Dickerson's source? Invite him to the barbershop. I might have to do that. You know, I take all the, hey, listen, if you want to see somebody on the barbershop, email us. Fifth Dimension Media 1@gmail.com. We'll reach out to him. You want to see a guest? Fifth Dimension Media 1@gmail.com. We will reach out to him. Alfonso said that. That's who said it. Alfonso was that guy. I told you I was giving you credit for it. He said that. Thank you for the shout out. I appreciate you, G. Bush. I knew it was. D is T. The defense is tired of being for the L, blamed for the L when the O can't score. I know what you mean. Basically saying the defense is tired of being blamed when the offense is garbage and can't score a point. So Kirk Davis is absolutely worth it. Y'all go subscribe. Appreciate you, Kirk. Somebody else did that. Quinn Howard, thank you so much for becoming a member. Do not become a member if you hate the truth. There you go. You're right. The membership ain't for everybody. I mean, because what we going to do, we going to talk. But here's the thing about the membership, too. There's nothing that I say on the membership that I don't say here. So it ain't no place where we come over there and we just hate on people. That ain't what we do. We come over here, we educate, we entertain. Everything that I say on my live stream, that members only, I say on these waves. So it ain't like nothing crazy. Oh, man, you over there talking wild reckless. Nah, it's the same level, but we just give you a different avenue. They blessed to have you, G. Thank you so much. We appreciate all your time. By the way, shout out to UCSS. We simulcasting right now. We on UCSS right now. If you're over there, hit that like button. G. Bush, thank you. Virus Beat. V-Res or Virus. I appreciate you. G. Bush, thank you for being the realistic on Sports Talk. I know you getting to your bag on the other show, so you really can't like that you know what up like you want to. But Jason's on the show really need to stop. Get Stefanski up out of here. You know, listen, today, there's no wiggle room around today. I mean, if you like Stefanski after today, virus beats. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This is closed. This it. Sanders face all media jersey interviews, commercials, building stadiums on 12's back. Let me tell you something. You need a beautiful distraction by the time you get to 2020. Think about that. I mean, if you need to sell something, what better way to sell something than to have? I'm gonna tell you all the time. It's one of the most famous quarterbacks in the game. One of the most famous I'm just saying. You still got to prove it, and he still got to go out and do it. But if he does, and that's if he does, I mean, the Browns will be on TV every day. Trust me. CK and for the narrative, 12 not being close. Yeah, that narrative's out of here. I mean, they told me that Bailey Zappi was a better opportunity. Stop. Did you see Joe Flacco throw up the Shedeur wrist when he threw the touchdown? I did not see that. I got to go check that out, Jimmy Cleveland. I did not see that. I ain't gonna lie. I was too mad at looking at the fact that he was just hooking us. Like, dang, these dudes is wide open in this game. P. Rothstein, the Lord forgives, I don't. Shout out to Rick Ross. Everybody got to go except Deuce and Schwartz. Now listen, the good Lord, the good Lord tells us to forgive. But the good Lord always tells us that there are consequences to your actions. Neil Gray. Andrew Poole checkmate move on Stefanski to expose his inability to coach and develop a quarterback. Numbers don't lie, but the coach and the media members do, except for G. Bush. I try to keep it real. It's a lot of people out here. It's a lot of people. Some truth tellers out here. Shout out to Big Snacks. I hear you out there, dog. Shout out to B. Watts. I see you out there. Shout out to M Dog. I see you. Earl the Pearl is out there. I see you. If I'm forgetting somebody, I shout out everybody. When I heard Emmett Golden was like, hey, listen, yeah, they're about to get rid of Kevin after this bye week. They're going to be starting Shedeur after that. I said, dang. Now, Emmett, he middle of the road. Emmett ain't saying nothing crazy. That tide done turned. That Flacco got people thinking. They can't do it. Rogers 12 eyes said, you snapped on Friday, G. Bush. I was yelling, get him, G. Bush. Can I get my money off? LOL. They was in shock. You knew G. Bear, right? Can whip chip a defensive end. You know, I told you, bro. I tweeted. I said, no, we're not gonna do this today. We will not be distracted today. We got to get that work. You're gonna get that work. Great hoodie looks. G, we in the chat. We're waiting on you all day to say on UCSS in front of Jason and Jay, bring the shop in here. Bring me my apron. I'm cooking. Mad Dog, no good. 12 fans ain't been wrong yet. We patient. Look how the patience. And bro, I'm over here patient. Stefanski gonna coach his way in or out. Dylan Gabriel gonna play his way in or out. That's the great thing about football. Show me what you got. And I ain't told them to take Dylan Gabriel out yet. Because you know what I'm gonna say, and you tell him and you remind him too. When Shedeur get into a football game, you're gonna say you deserve. He better get the same courtesy G. Bush gave y'all. He wasn't slandering them. He didn't say nothing. Take Dylan Gabriel out. We ain't ready. He didn't say none of that. So I need that same level of courtesy when Shedeur Sanders play. And don't be writing no pieces. Don't be getting this is why he's a 5th round pick. I ain't said this is why he a 3rd round pick yet, have I? So you remind them of the level of patience that we are exuding at the moment. Checkmate. Game blouses. Nita, love watching God work it out. You stood on business yesterday. Love you shutting Jay down and sidetracked the nonsense and putting Jason on mute. We a village, not a cult. Shedeur's village and your fan base patiently waiting. I was like, bro, are you trying to sell it? This is the thing, bro. You trying to sell it like it's a cult, bro. Ain't nobody told nobody nothing about Dylan Gabriel. I heard, and shout out to the person. I don't know who said it on UCSS. They said, I came for Shedeur, but I love watching UCSS every single day. I'm a Browns fan. That don't sound like no cult. I could say the bearded cult. Y'all like the beard. Y'all like it. I could say that. Everett Crawford. The only way anybody believes that Dylan Gabriel is better than Shedeur Sanders is never watch either one of them play in college football. By the way, in Everett, in this area, people watch Ohio State, and that's about it. They're not watching no 8 o'clock game, SEC games. They watch Ohio State, and that's it. Nancy, 12 out there trying to help, shout out to, save somebody in the community. He is giving a car. He gave a car. He was giving cars out. He always doing something in the community. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing I mess with. I like people. At the end of the day, it's a football game. I'm about my people. I'm about trying to help people. I'm about seeing people prosper and do something good. I already done told you. When he went out and went to the projects like that, I said, he good with me. Best part is Flacco and Gabriel going to get him fired. 2 guys, Kevin picked. Lorenzo Carson. The messed up part about this, the ironic part is you got one guy on this roster that could save his job. Can you imagine if he just was like, yo, we like Shedeur, we like what he's gonna do, and we excited for him. And then he goes out and plays well, he gonna have you looking like a genius, right? You don't even get it. I'm going to scream to the rooftop. Airbnb for your head coach, his story and Shedeur's story is basically the same, and both sides of the clipboards. Eric Bieniemy is a tough coach. Eric Bieniemy done played at a coach at a high level, and he played for Colorado. That's crazy, right? Won the Heisman. Chris Harper. Yes, Barry drafts players, and they haven't panned out, but how are we not talking about the lack of talent development? Receivers have starved under Kevin Stefanski. All of them. There ain't, and by the way, if you was a free agent receiver, no free agent receivers. I done heard from the receivers. I done heard from them. I done heard from them. Don't nobody playing in this JV little playbook offense. This little high school boot offense. I mean, he's just not that good at being creative about anything. Glenn Fields, just a reminder, you said you were referred to Shedeur Sanders as first talent, not first round talent, not 5th round talent draft pick. Yes, I did. I said I would take Shedeur Sanders at number 2. I said that's why people can't get me on that. You're just hyping him up. You're hyping him. I say, bro, go back and watch it. I said I would take him at 2. So if he went in the 5th round, why would you not think that I was going to say Shedeur should be playing, or I think he should get an opportunity? These people done lost their mind. What did you like? It's on record. So and here's the thing too. All that nonsense about pandering, y'all done lost. Listen, again. People that go on the football field and go through as much pain and injuries and the time effort they put into breaking this game, they don't pander. Ain't no such thing as pander. Why would I wouldn't sacrifice my credibility about what I'm talking about for nobody. I don't care if the president was sitting here. Bush, Obama, Biden, I wouldn't, it don't matter. Jimmy Carter can be up here. That's impossible, but I don't care. I'm going to say how I feel about it, bro. He's just doing that for, bro, ain't nobody doing that. Listen, I've been here very long. Nobody got to do nothing for no clicks. At the end of the day, what I do is I deliver what I believe is good, consistent content about what I think is right and wrong. And if you resonate with it, awesome. If you don't, We ain't got to agree all the time. Just look at the former Browns players that left Kevin and had better success of leaving the 95 offense, that 1995 offense. It all comes down to one person. Cecil Ford, the common denominator is Mr. Kevin Stefanski. Chantel Penton, G. Bush, why Stefanski don't like Shedeur? Is it because of Prime? I think we talked about this on the members only, Chantel. I think one of the reasons that Kevin Stefanski gravitates to Dylan Gabriel is because Shedeur Sanders is not what we would call a controllable individual. When you are on the field, a franchise quarterback, the Joe Burrows, the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons, those people are in control of what they see, and the offense goes as they see. Shedeur Sanders is going to take shots downfield. Shedeur Sanders is going to take chances. You have to take chances in order to be a franchise quarterback and to play at a high level in this league. All this protect the football stuff and check it down if it ain't there. Kevin Stefanski likes his offense. He wants his offense to control what they're doing and dictate everything. And Dylan Gabriel is more suited to that mindset than Shedeur Sanders. It's the reason why I believe Deshaun Watson struggled. I think it's the reason why Joe Flacco showed you just now. How is Kevin Stefanski going to put the cuffs on me? And I'm Flacco. I didn't already showed you what I can do, but you want me dinking and dunking. Omar Active. Saints 1-5, Browns 1-5, total different vibes. Because guess what? One team's playing young guys and trying to figure it out. The Browns is trying to act like and perpetrate like they doing something. Chris Harper. Also, people will be mad about Miles' leadership, but they paid him. Also, why aren't we questioning the leadership above him? Leadership here is silence because he's an easy target. And by the way, you don't question the upper top. You don't do that. One last point. My Bucks are 5-1. Baker's balling. They mad at Miles sitting. Shedeur. Great job, Kevin. I echo that sentiment, my guy. Ace Solomon. Deshaun Watson with a broken throwing shoulder balled out for Cleveland. He did in that one Ravens game, remember? And he had an ankle injury. Right? David Walker, thanks, G. Bush. I figured something out. Shedeur's drafting was political statement for the team, and the owners did not like it because he's a quarterback with a defensive backs mentality. They don't like his prime equity deal either. I think there's a lot of things about Shedeur's personality they don't like. But here's the thing. I'm glad that he's down in position. He's going to get an opportunity, and his play is going to get to talking, not just what they're talking about off the field. Fidama D. Stefanski has to go. Poor offense. Browns defensive players want to win. Defensive players, I think we expressed that. You saw what it looked like. They fed up. Reverend B.J. Nelson, 4D, dinking, dunking, done, Dylan. That 4D. Hey, you better get it together. Miami, you don't come out here looking crazy. Medic 51, I've been saying thank you to the Bengals fans. 3 years of telling people Stefanski ain't it, and all it took was this game. Final nail. That is the consensus of what we're talking about. Sometimes you telling them it's gonna roll off like water off a duck's back. But when you see it with your own eyes and the Bengals saying that, they fast forwarded this whole timeline. Sean Charles. R.I.P. Life Jennings. Must be nice. Yeah. Must be nice. Boxing Logics United. Ohioans wanted to hold pro clubs accountable as long as Buckeyes are winning championships. The Suckeyes keep y'all content losing pro teams bars. By the way, Ohio State has been our professional team for a long time here, and you are correct. People they're going to watch the Buckeyes, and if the Browns lose, you always got Saturday, right? Big Daddy, the league and the pundits tried to make Stefanski the next Don Shula, and here the coach of the year in 2020, 41-53 career record, in 6 years is fireworthy. The 4-21 and 22 is nasty work, Big Daddy. Amiri 2X, where can I get that orange jacket like yours? Oh, you saw me brought back the Hype Williams. We not only talk spicy, but we bring the fashion game back. I felt like I was in in the Sunshine video with Jay-Z. I forgot. I thought I was Nas, and You Can Hate Me Now. That joint was fire. By the way, you can get that from Fashion Nova. I don't really tell it out. Fashion Nova. It was very inexpensive, but it ain't about how much it costs. It's about how much you can make it look good. You might be able to do that. Jason G. Question: does the media need experience? No, they just need research and investment and time and learning what their craft. And it's easy and it's available to you, right? I would respect people. Get you a YouTube channel, get you some tape film, get around some people, study the game. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who know the game very well. There are great coaches who've never played. Here's the thing. I respect the time you put in. You put the time in and you put the work in, I can respect it. Jason G, playing experience, no, you don't need playing experience. I do think there's a different level of knowledge that you get with playing experience. Like, I know about childbirth, but I can't really truly ever tell you what delivering a child feels like because I'm not a woman. So there's a level of intimacy that you have with a certain topic because you've gone through it. But do you need to understand it at a certain level? No, you don't need to. You just need to really dial in and put the work in to understanding everything. Fadama, thank you so much for this super chat or super sticker. I appreciate you. Father's plight. The underlining theme is always 12. He brought in the microscope to the Browns in a way never seen before. His suppression has brought the full wrath of natural selection. They're being forced to change. That microscope, that light he brought and shine, that is the exact light people try to avoid. Because when you have that microscope and that flashlight shining on your dirty laundry that every team has, they know it makes it more difficult to continue to have dysfunction if you're a bad organization. That's why a part of it moving to the 5th round. Set apart last, Jason Lloyd sneak dissing. You know, hey, listen, you can't sneak. Ain't no sneak, bro. We talk. You know, nobody has to sneak deep. I am the Duke of knee jerk. You don't have to sneak diss me. I know I'll be talking spicy. And I'll be on the show 5 days a week. So we can have conversations 5 days a week. Let's talk. That's what the platform is for, right? Emmanuel Johnson, this is why you need to watch and be a member of the G. Bush channel. You'll find out that Shedeur started out as a safety. So how the heck can he not read defenses? G. Bush to GOAT. His dad was the greatest defensive back ever. How does he not know how to read defenses? From the best defender ever, who's been his coach since he was 12. Just saying. Hot take, Dylan Gabriel balls out, Browns win 24-21. I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns win this game. They should. This should be a win. This is a very winnable game. This is why I'm preemptively saying, if you lose this football game, there is no Tua Tagovailoa has to come out here. He had to apologize to his team. Their coach is on the hot seat. Their defense is trash. And it's going to be a nasty work game. If you can't win this game, you're in trouble. Deron Polk. Is this the Deron Polk I know? Yes, it is. It has to be. I don't know another Deron Polk. Been a diehard Browns fan for nearly 40 years in a crib where my dad was a diehard Steelers fan. How they doing 12 is officially making me jump ship after all these years remaining a fan and taking these L's. Deron, we grew up together. You know good and well. The propaganda in this place is alive and well. Shout out to you and how you moving, man. We appreciate you, man. We grew up together. We went to the same high school. He know what it is. Boxing Logics United. If they wanted to understand Ohio, take Little Kenton. The good old Christian boys will greet you and on Main Street in full apparel. Allegedly. Medic 51, not gonna win Sunday. Finns scored 20 points every game since the 14th of September. Kevin Stefanski worse than McDaniel. The Patriots game will be the fall of the house of Stefanski. That's what Emmett said. People circling that on their calendars. Travis Little, Eric Bieniemy for head coach. Eric Bieniemy got some soldiers in Ohio. Gaming 216. If you're Haslam, get your regime away from your quarterbacks. Let 4 and 12 battle for the job in camp next year. Draft receivers and linemen in the next quarterback draft. F a quarterback. I agree with that. I told him there's no way I'm drafting another quarterback. I draft 2 linemen, and I need all receivers and linemen. All of them. All of them. TW Gaming, you think the teams have called for 12? Oh, I know they have. And the Browns are saying no. If so, why do you think they won't trade him? Because they're not trading him. I know the Bengals called. That's the first person they're going to ask about. Listen, forget what they ain't asking for. The Jets called. People trying to take, they don't want him. So you done lost your mind. Damon Hayward, how hard is Shedeur to learn this week offense? How hard is it for Shedeur to learn this week offense? Get out of here. You know good and well ain't nothing easy to do it. Marquise 97. Do you think Shedeur is better than Gabriel, or does it not matter because our receivers can't catch and the scheme is bad? I think Shedeur is better than Dylan Gabriel. I think that he has more upside. I think he has more size. I think he has more arm ability. Dylan Gabriel, by no stretch of imagination, is garbage. I think he's going to play backup quarterback in this league for a long time. I think he is intelligent. I wouldn't go the supercomputer route, but I think he has limitations, right? So the thing about it is just basically proving that, right? So right now, you got to give Dylan an opportunity to prove what he can do. And when you go to Shedeur, you got to see what he going to do. But I think he, of course, by evaluation standards, I do believe that he's a better quarterback talent-wise. Red Lotus, one drop. Tell Grossi and other media to stop looking for a quarterback next year. They're going to look for him. They've been looking for a savior for years at quarterback. That's just what it is. We're wired to do that. We're wired to look for the quarterback because we keep thinking that that's just some savior is coming in on a white steed to save us. Tria says, if AB is in charge of getting the ingredients, then with 11 2026 picks, you have to take 2 and get a wide receiver in a trade, draft 1 more, and then rebuild the line. The rest is up to the coaching. I agree. I need a couple of linemen. I need a couple more people too. Listen, Cardinal Tate would look great. And give me 2 tackles in Cardinal Tate. I don't know how you're going to get them, but TW says, Sanders got people drafted and put on teams. Travis, LeJontay, Horn, Shepard, Gage, Floria. He will get you noticed and make you shine. I think there is something about quarterbacks that actually, I don't know, it's a spark. And it seems like they catch the ball all of a sudden. I've seen it happen a few times where it's just like, man, they were just dropping the ball and then they catching them. You'd be like, dang, bro, they blocking now? Because I just saw it happen with Joe Flacco. Crazy. Been saying Kevin Stefanski is Adam Gase 2.0. He was not getting it done. Tria says, also, thank you, Cleveland. Who they? Rob Cunningham, my guy, man. G. Bush, do we really want the Browns to win Sunday, or do we want to make nails in the car? Or do we make nails are in our coffin? I'm gonna tell you this. I always want the Browns to win. It's up to them if they will do it. I don't want to root against them. They are incompetent enough for them to screw it up themselves. However, even if they win, I've already made my decision on Kevin Stefanski. Beating the 1-5 Dolphins team don't mean nothing to me. It's cool, but I mean that don't mean, oh my gosh, he saved his job today. We're gonna have to do some miraculous stuff in the rest of the season. His offense better look great. His quarterbacks better look good. It needs to be a spark, a rotation, something for me to show up and show out. With that being said, we did 3 hours and it was easy work. You know why it was easy? Because we had an opportunity to talk to you. Oh, hold on. Ms. Bell, Brown should win. I should be 5. Oh, Ms. Bell is crazy. What we did today was an exercise in showing you that you can talk all you want, you can do all you want, but you can't fool everybody all the time. Here in the barbershop, we keep the receipts. If you want to you have a fresh take on sports, see back there, I'll always keep the clippers with me, no matter what. If you want to be a member, pull up on us. We got you. Links in the description. We're going to continue rolling. Make sure you come back. Make sure you back at this. Make sure you are back. Hit that like button. That's good enough. We're going to be back coming up tomorrow. Browns post-game. UCSS post-game. 2 biggest post-game shows in the game. You know me, Mikey McNuggets. Make sure you check it out. Earl to Pearl. We be cooking. Then you come right back on over here to the barbershop. We give you another one. The best in the game. Hold on, we ain't done yet. Y'all still be sending. We get everybody in. Boxing Logics United 5 point. Thank you so much for the super chat. $5 super chat. Miles' statement was defending the character of his teammates. That's the leadership they asking for, right? I like that. I like that. With that being said, you never know where Jubilee might show up, radio, television, or internet. But if you want the fresh cut on sports, the barbershop is always here. Have a good rest of your Saturday afternoon. Watch some sports, eat some good food, and be back here on Sunday. And as always, even though I don't like them, they be tripping sometime. How we do. It's always go Browns. Hold on. Oh, we almost had it. Go Browns.